drills to the next level. The Shed is Eldon's own indoor hitting facility that features 2 full cages with screens, tees, and pitching lanes. You'll love their top-of-the-line pitching machine that throws a variety of speeds with precise locations to perfect your swing. The Shed also has a workout facility. You can add it to your cage rental or just purchase as a regular membership. Open Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 8, and Saturday and Sunday from noon to 8. Look for the big white building across from Gerb's in Eldon. Book times now on Facebook at The Shed LLC. See you at The Shed.
Divine and the Land Pro team will provide you with excellent service and more than 25 years of combined knowledge of the local real estate market. Looking to buy or sell land or farms in Miller, Morgan, or Camden County? Call Chuck Yo, the Land Pro, at 573-280-4452. Victoria Divine makes finding your next home enjoyable, utilizing the latest technology to bring buyers and sellers together. Buying a home is a big decision. Trust Victoria Divine to handle all the details for you. Divine and Associates, powered by eXp Realty, located across from Wood Supermarket in Eldon.
Back with the Winter Shelton Real Estate pregame show here on this KS95 Sports broadcast. If you're watching the live stream, sorry, I forgot to click a button. I know, it's kind of my thing each week. We got to figure out what technology I can mess up. But one thing I can't mess up is who we got playing tonight. Eldon and Southern Boone, 2 teams that have done battles year in, year out as part of the Tri-County, which, I mean, Matt, I know you saw enough of this conference to know, and you're around enough. There's not a night off in the Tri-County.
Well, it seems like for what seems like decades, the Tri-County Conference goes through Blair Oaks.
Absolutely.
I mean, they have just, built this massive program, and it is, behind Blair Oaks, it is, you see Booneville having a great season. And again, so far we've seen both Eldon and Southern Boone having good seasons as well. And so, I mean, when it comes to competition, Tri-County Conference has it when it comes to high school football.
By the way, shout out to Southern Boone. They've been doing upgrades around their facility.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Very, very nice. Ryan, the first thing I know you noticed when you walked in here was that scoreboard. That thing's slick.
Yeah, the big video board over there in the end zone, pretty nice, and everything around it. I mean, there's some big-time colleges that don't have a scoreboard that looks like that. It's pretty nice.
Just to clarify, as a disclaimer, I do work for the Southern Boone School District now as the public relations director. This is my 4th year. And so, talking about the renovations, the improvements here at the stadium, the complex, was a $3 million project, a bond issue that voters passed in April 2022. Work happened during summer of 2023. They tore out the field, the grass field, put in a brand new turf, new track, new sound system, video board, expanded our bleachers, press box as well. And so it was long overdue. We have, not only football, but also soccer. And boy, that grass field, it took a toll after, so many games and, and also youth as well. And so it got used. And so we're very fortunate and lucky to kind of have this nice turf field.
By the way, got to give a little love to Athletic Director Trent Tracy for getting us all set up here this evening. It's nice having a private box, and it will be a long night up here at Ashland because it is homecoming night for the Southern Boone Eagles. And I got to say, my school, we didn't have football when I was in high school. We had soccer, but our homecoming was during basketball season, and we would run into other schools like us that had the same. And I'm going to be honest, we took it personally. If we showed up and we were your homecoming game, that to us meant, hey, let's put this team on the schedule because we think we can now win. And I know football's different. It's based around your season and such. But, Ryan, I got to ask, do you think that adds a little chip on the Mustang shoulders? Not only do they want this win for all sorts of reasons, but also, hey, we want to spoil your homecoming.
I mean, when we play, or when I played, it was always like we just wanted to go to the dance after the game, right? We wanted to, like, crash the party and just make it not as much of a party. But it wasn't as so much as disrespectful as it was like, hey, we just need to lock in and get a win because it's going to be a hostile crowd regardless of what happens. So that's how I always thought of it.
I was trying to see what their banner even says. Eldon winning. Now that's – I can't see what it says. That's something.
No, I don't think we'll ever find out.
I don't think we will because that banner's about to be in pieces. Yeah. While they're working on that, before the game, we did get to go down to the field and talk with the head coach of the Eldon Mustangs, Coach Griffin, his first year as the coach of the Mustangs, and asked him how his squad looked going into tonight's contest.
There we go. Coach, how's the team going to tonight's contest?
Yeah, we had a good week of practice. They feel confident, feel good about tonight, so they're ready to go.
A tough game last week, kind of a back-and-forth offensive battle between you guys and Hallsville. What'd you take away from that game?
They've got a good quarterback and receiver duo, and they're on the same page, and it's tough to stop. We did just about everything we could to stop those two and couldn't get the job done. And then, kind of the story of the year so far, we kind of got in our own way offensively. Some costly penalties, turnovers. We just got to put the ball in the end zone when we get inside the 20.
You guys have had quite a dynamic on the ground, and you can honestly call it the Beanland ground attack if you want to, whether it's Andrew running the football or Evan closing out in the red zone. Can you talk a little bit about the effectiveness the Beanland boys have had in the run game this season?
Yeah, so, we're able to hit the edge with some speed. Andrew, is a state medalist in the Open 100 and all the relays, and so he's able to do some things outside for us, which opens up running lanes inside for Evan in the quarterback run game. So we're able to do a little smoke and mirrors and get them both involved.
Now, tonight a big game, not only a Tri-County game, but also big district implications on this one. What do you know about the Southern Boone Eagles?
Yeah, they're a good football team. They're well coached. Obviously nice facilities, good area. It's been some high-scoring battles. I know last year was 79-42 or something. So they got some good players. A lot on the line. Our kids understand that, and they're ready to go and prove something and earn a little respect, I think.
All right, and lastly, what do you need to see out of your boys to get a W here tonight?
Consistency. We just need to be consistent on the offensive side of the ball and finish drives and play together.
That was head coach Nick Griffin of the Eldon Mustangs in our Dunn and Associates coaches interview. And Ryan, he highlighted several things. One thing I do really appreciate about Coach is it seems like discipline is a selling point for him.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think we're getting.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I set you up for failure there. We're going to get to the national anthem, so we'll take a break and come back with starters in just a moment. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Heart attacks don't follow a 9-to-5 schedule. And neither do we. At Lake Regional, a full heart attack response team is on call day and night. It's a demanding job. But then again, we never mind being woken up by our neighbors. Lake Regional Health System. Our commitment runs deep.
H&R Block of Versailles is a family-owned and operated Block Advisors office celebrating 10 years of business serving Versailles and the surrounding areas. Pamela Johnson, an enrolled agent, and her certified team are here to prepare your taxes, handle your bookkeeping and payroll, plus audits, tax notices with the IRS and the state, and problem solving and issue resolution. For more information, call the H&R Block office on Monroe Street in Versailles at 573-378-5843. 573-378-5843.
Every day, your Jefferson City and Osage Beach Hy-Vee pharmacies are committed to your health and wellness. If you're enrolled in Medicare Part B, Medicare Advantage plans, and most commercial plans, they'll cover up to 8 over-the-counter COVID-19 tests per month at no cost through Hy-Vee. Most plans cover these costs and no prescription is required. Stop in at your Osage Beach or Jefferson City Hy-Vee pharmacy and see the helpful pharmacy staff today.
When you're looking for a new furnace or air conditioner, price is important, but warranty, reliability, and efficiency are big factors too. At DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling, you'll receive very competitive pricing on the industry-leading Air Ease products. Every Air Ease product is built on 80 years of experience, testing, and research. Servicing the Lake and Jefferson City areas for nearly 15 years, DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling. For reliable products offered by reliable people, call DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling.
And we are back. The Winter Shelton Real Estate pregame show getting ready for the coin toss. Before we get there, let's check out the starting lineups for the Eldon Mustangs going into this matchup with the Southern Boone Eagles. As I say that, I should have probably been ready to actually click the button. Starting for the Mustangs tonight. Where did it go?
Back.
Back. It's like magic. Number 4, Evan Beanland at quarterback. The halfback, well, one of them will be number 29, Colin Brisbane. Kind of a 2 running back set they'll run out here. 51, Owen Martin is the left guard. Center, 57, Zach DeVolt, right guard. Number 50, Jackson Williams. Number 68, James Phillips is the right tackle. And the left tackle will be Big 72, King Darren Crabtree after last week's homecoming festivities. Your wideouts will be number 5, Jalen Beckman, stellar wide receiver and great in the secondary as well. Speedster number 2, Devin Hardy. With the pink gloves out there. Used to be the only one, but, now they're
they need to really just go back to the one pink glove situation. It makes it easier.
Number 1, Andrew Beanland. Remember that name? You're going to hear it a lot. The kid has broken several track records for the Mustangs, and he is always a threat at halfback. And rounding out the starting lineup, the tight end number 42, Brendan Wilson for the Eldon Mustangs under head coach Nick Griffin. Now, one of my favorite things to say is when it comes time for the Lake Regional Injury Report, well, you see it. Nobody listed.
That's cool.
That's fantastic. That's exactly what we want to see on there. I should have set the background up a little bit better. Let's look at what's on the line with this game. Well, looking at the schedule for the Mustangs, they opened up the season with a big win over Fulton 35-7, followed it up with a tight one with the Tigers 13-12, then pulled out another win to go to 3-0 over Owensville 28-8. Then things got rough these last 2 weeks. Osage beats Eldon 41-22. Hallsville last week winning 38-29. A bit of a skid here for the Mustangs. How important is it to get some momentum back at this point in the season?
Well, I think the interesting thing is we're looking at two very similar teams and the fact that they both started out the season with 3 wins and now have rattled off 2 straight losses. So you opened up the season with high hopes. Those 3 wins, you're looking at maybe we can get 4-0, 5-0. We can get a little greedy. Now you're in a much different situation because you're trying to avoid getting back to 500. You're right back where you started. So massive game for both teams, and also being in the same district, basically the Tri-County district. It's tough sledding if you lose this one.
Well, and you look at this right now, seeds 2 through 4 will host home games in districts because the 1 seed gets a bye, which means 5 through 7 are on the road. 4 seed right now is Southern Boone, 5 seeds Eldon.
Right.
That's all you got to know. This game carries so much weight. Matt, how important is home field advantage for either of these teams in the postseason?
Well, it's huge. I mean, I think any team you want to avoid Blair Oaks as long as you can. Once you get into district action, your best bet is maybe to face Blair Oaks in the district finals. And of course, you want to get home field advantage, and you really do not want to play Blair Oaks, obviously at all. But of course, both teams will be playing them later on during the regular season, and most likely, probably one of these 2 teams will see them sometime in the district tournament.
Not to mention, if you have to go on the road against any foe, you're playing a game of what if. Football, the beauty of football is it can happen on any given night that David can take out Goliath.
Yeah, well, I even think even furthermore, like say you're Eldon and you're playing a home game, right? You're used to playing on grass every single day. You want to have a dirty football game, a trenches football game. Then you come over here to Southern Boone, and if they host a game, then they're on turf. They're used to being on turf every single. Like facilities come into play there too.
And it's worth noting, if you're a running team, which of course the Mustangs are, full of speedsters. I mean, Ryan, you played football. You know the difference in grip between grass and turf is night and day. And if you're accustomed to one, not the other, you're going to wind up having a lot of slips and even the risk of turned ankles and such when you have to transfer over to the other type of field.
Well, when I think of a trench battle, which is what Eldon obviously wants to do, I think of a grass field that's like muddy. It's a little rainy outside, right? It's cold. That's what I think of. So for them to play out here would be a little different dynamic than playing at home.
Matt, I know now that you're a Southern Boone guy, I got to give your crowd love. You guys show up.
Awesome.
In numbers. This is quite the atmosphere here.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's homecoming. It's extra special for this community, but yeah, I mean, just like any small town, we love our football, we love our sports and athletics, and really our school as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like Eldon is going to kick off to start things. They're in their road whites with the gold trim and lettering. Some slick home uniforms for Southern Boone. Red pants, black tops, and the bright white letters, which as an announcer, I could not love more. All right, boys, I'm going to make my prediction here. This game's going to be decided by who can get their offense clicking first.
Yeah, no doubt about it. If Eldon can get out to the edge, they'll have a lot of success tonight, but obviously Southern Boone's defense going to try to stand tall here.
Eldon going to break the huddle, line up for this opening kick as we jump into the Chuck Yo, the Land Pro, first quarter of play. I'm Colton Taylor, Ryan Retone, Matt Sharp with me on the broadcast, Britt on the camera, Justin back at the studio, and we are away. A nice kick starting things off for Southern Boone. They're going to do a little handoff action at the 20, little running lane at the 30, shifting gears to the 35, wrestled down just shy of the 40 by the Mustang special teams. I like the handoff on the return, a little razzle-dazzle early by this Southern Boone squad.
Well, it was a secure handoff, too. It wasn't a pitch, which could have maybe gone ugly very quickly, but it was, something to kind of maybe keep Eldon on their toes a little bit.
Well, I also always like bringing out trick plays, stuff like that on a special night like tonight, right? You have an extra special crowd, stuff like that. It gets them going. It's something simple. It's something that's low risk, but someone sees that and they get excited, right?
Well, it's going to fall in the hands of junior quarterback Mason Shear. as he will operate out of the shotgun in this first set. It's going to be one receiver split to his left, two out to his right. Receiver comes in motion left to right. They're going to give him the handoff on the jet sweep. Mustangs hit him in the backfield, grab the ankle, and bring him down for a loss.
That's a big-time play right there. I didn't catch a number on it, but typically Eldon does a really good job of stringing out those outside run plays. They'll get it all the way to a defensive back. That time an outside linebacker just shot the gap and made the play in the backfield.
Well, one thing we're going to see from Southern Boone, they like to spread the field. They play a lot of shotgun on offense, and so that's really what we're going to see a lot on offense for Southern Boone.
And they try to get the Mustang to jump, and he just about does. Good hard count there by the quarterback Shearer. He's got two split out to his right halfback on his right hip in the shotgun. It's 2nd and 12. They're going to run a little option. He's going to keep it up the gut. Nowhere to go as the Mustangs close off that gap in the middle. They're going to force a 3rd and long for Southern Boone from their own 38-yard line.
That's a much better job than we saw last week of getting off the ball early in the game. Last week is a little bit of slow start for Eldon. This week firing off full force. I do think this is interesting, though, because for Southern Boone, a spread team, like 3rd and 12 is definitely possible to pick up.
And they are, Southern Boone not afraid to throw the ball. Shearer has a pretty good arm and some pretty good weapons, too, when it comes to wide receivers and also tight ends.
Well, it's trips right for Shear on this 3rd and 12. He's going to call out what he sees in the defense. They're running one safety high. See how Eldon plays this. Shear drops back to pass. Pressure from the Mustangs not there. Nearly picked off. I think the corner may have got a hand on it as it falls incomplete, and the Mustangs are going to force a punt.
Well, just great defense by the Eldon Mustangs. If you are Eldon, you can't you can't imagine even a better start. No. You force Eldon to go, or force Southern Boone to go 3 and out and really lose yards too.
I'm trying to see back to return. I believe that's Evan Beanland. It's Beckman? No, that is Jalen. You're right. Yeah. My apologies. These uniforms are difficult. Punt is away. Great punt by Southern Boone and a fair catch called by Beckman as he pulls it in securely at the 31-yard line. That was a beauty of a punt. That was 30-30 right there.
Well, I think, most of the games we've covered so far this year, not a lot of teams have had good special teams play. Not a lot of kickers in the conference this year. Not a lot of punters in the conference this year. And a lot of guys just using their quarterbacks to punt. But that time, a legit punter and booted that ball.
So a big problem for the Mustangs all season, and you can ask Coach Griffin, will be the first to tell you, has been self-inflicted wounds. When you're a run-first team, you cannot get yourself behind the chains early. All right, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the 32-yard line. Evan going to keep it out of the shotgun. He follows the left guard. He's got room to go across the 40, crosses midfield, stiff arms one man, and falls at the 46-yard line of the Eagles. How about a 24-yard rush from the first play from scrimmage?
I believe it was your play of the week last week. There was a drive where Evan Beanland it was the Evan Beanland drive, right? Ran quarterback runs the entire drive. He's had a lot of success doing that. Anytime you can get 10 blockers out in front of him and a good runner running downhill, it plays out well for you.
And if you get Andrew moving, the defense has to keep an eye on him. I mean, Andrew always a threat. Evan back in the shotgun. He's going to keep it again. Goes right behind that left guard. He's going to take contact early, bounce into the outside. He'll be held to a 3-yard gain ahead to the 43-yard line of the Eagles.
One thing we haven't talked about, last year's game when Southern Boone beat Eldon 75-49. I don't think we're going to have that much offensive power tonight, but boy, there are a lot of touchdowns and a lot of points scored last year between these two teams. You have to give Eldon credit. Scoring 49, you win most games when you get almost 50.
Yeah. They had an agreement before the game. No one was going to play any defense. It was great.
I remember that one. They got behind a little bit earlier, and then Hunter Hess just started playing backyard football and was just making things happen with his legs.
And Eldon looking to throw on the rollout. Evans got a man. Caught at the 30 to the 25. It's Brisbane down to the 23-yard line. Mustangs sold the play action and hit Brisbane for a big gain and a Martin medal. First down.
Oh, and that was just a missed tackle by Southern Boone on defense. There was an Eagle there that was easily could have wrapped up, but he tried to maybe knock him down. You're going to have to wrap up and hold on if you want to bring somebody down.
Oh, and I think that's a really good job. We've seen Evan Beanland kind of progress in the passing game. Usually he's tucking and running that, but that time fitting it between a defender. He knows that he's going into the zone, but throwing it and back shoulder catch there was really nice.
In the shotgun, they're going to hand it off. I think that's Brisbane on the carry, but he gets hit immediately. He's going to be dragged down at the 25-yard line, a 2-yard loss on first down. I will say what these different looks out of the shotgun are doing for Eldon is you're trying to keep the safety honest right now because you've got to come up and help in the run game. Evans a threat, Andrew's a threat. So when they roll out on that play action, it's really a tough spot for the safety to be in, not to bite and freeze.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to keep going with that opposite effect, right? Usually the run sets up the pass. They're gonna need to pass a few more times to set up the run because they haven't had a lot of success inside the tackle box with their run plays.
We did not have anything in the injury report, but I am not seeing Andrew out there.
He wasn't at pregame warmups either.
And Evan going to keep it. He's got a little space near the 20-yard line, going to be stopped just shy of the 20, but that'll be enough to, oh, never mind, excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong chains. That'll make it 3rd and 7 as they are knocking on the door of the Crown Power Case IH Red Zone.
Well, that was a great job by Evan. He was very patient when he ran the ball because I think if he would have just tucked it and run, he wouldn't have got any positive yards. But with that patience, he was able to find a hole and take it.
Big down here. Don't got to get all 7 back, right? Definitely 4-down territory for the Mustangs. Just try to pick up a few. Go from there.
Evan going to roll out to his right, looking, keeping his head up. Now he's going to tuck it. He's going forward to the 5, hit into the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs. Evan Beanland kept the head up on the rollout, looking for a wide out. Instead, called his own number and put 6 on the board.
Big time block there by the right tackle. The guy, I can't see his number, but man, he's got flowing hair out of his helmet. Pinned the defensive end in there, allowed Evan to get out on the edge. And Evan not seeing anything. We've talked about it. His best weapon is his legs. Just go up and get as many yards as you can, and that time he gets in the end zone.
And I see the pink gloves back there. That means Devin Hardy's coming out for the extra point attempt. Devin Hardy, he's shown he's got a great leg.
Honestly, he hadn't missed too many. I'm going to jinx him now.
What happened here? The play was whistled dead. Was it a...
There's a flag on the near side of the field.
Yeah, it's going to be offsides or encroachment, whichever way on the...
They're going to go for this now. I mean, you only got to get 1.5 yards.
Yeah, I mean, the way you've ran the ball thus far, is this one of those, I mean, do you run almost an RPO with Evan and tell him, hey, if you want to hand it off? Because I can't tell if that's Brisbane or if that's Landon Beanland back there getting carries. It's just impossible to see these numbers through this window.
They haven't had a lot of success in this formation this year.
They are under center. Evan's going tight. It's going to be a Wildcat snap, and this one works in for 2. It's either Landon or Brisbane. I'm going to have to figure that one out. But either way, the Mustangs have put up 8 on Southern Boone halfway through the Chuck Yo the Land Pro first quarter. We'll come back with more. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
At Versailles Total Fitness, they want to make sure that you get the most out of your fitness and training and achieve your desired goals. Tara Grantham is a certified personal trainer and registered occupational therapist who can help you reach your goals and stay injury-free on the way. For prices, call Tara at 573-789-6800 at their new staffed hours Monday through Wednesday from 9 to 5:30. That's Versailles Total Fitness at 131 North Monroe Street. Versailles Total Fitness, helping you reach a healthier lifestyle.
Hi, I'm Brandon, and welcome to Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sales. Do you need a trailer to get your boat out of the water? Maybe just a replacement trailer. Or considering selling your boat and you know a trailer will help get it done. We carry 11 lines of high-quality boat trailers, and if we don't have what you need, we also build our very own line of custom aluminum boat trailers. Thanks to everyone that's been by or just heard of us and gave us a referral. From my family to yours, we can't thank you enough.
Ensuing kickoff for the Mustangs after they drive all the way down the field, 70 yards, 68 yards, and put 8 points on the board. However, that kickoff took a hop out of bounds at the 30-yard line, so that will be a penalty. And good starting position on this drive for the Eagles. So the flip side of this, we talked about getting the offense going early and how important that is. Now, Matt, for Southern Boone, how important is an answer?
Oh, huge, because I don't think, we talked about earlier how many points and touchdowns were scored last year. That's not going to be the case this year, especially for Southern Boone. And so, Eagles play really good defense, but they need to get their offense going. And, going 3 and out on the first series on offense, you want to answer, especially after Eldon scored that touchdown.
They're going to come back out in the shotgun. 2 receivers out to the left for Shear. He takes the snap, handoff, running back going to his right, and a short gain as the Mustangs were able to rally and take away the edge. He'll pick up maybe 2.
This is a good matchup for Eldon's defense because teams have not had success running on the edges with them. Anytime that they're facing a more speedy team that's trying to run the ball, whether it's mid-zone or it's sweep plays, anything like that, they've been able to string it out and get the tackles. It's inside the tackle box that they struggle the most. So if they keep trying to go to the edge, Eldon's not going to have a problem with that.
I believe that was Tally on the carry, and you're going to get it. No, it's going to be a reverse from Southern Boone as a little space to run goes out to the 44-yard line. That'll be just shy of a first down. Good job by Eldon to recover, but Southern Boone not afraid to show a few tricks out of their bag early.
Yeah, that was Southern Boone's Tanner Shelton with that run. And again, he was able to kind of turn the corner. Took a little bit for that play to develop,
right,
but he was able to get positive yards.
And now you're in a much more manageable position. You got 2 downs probably to pick this up.
3rd and 1, and it's going to be the hard count from Shearer trying to get the Mustangs to jump as they're kind of loading the box, and they're just going to go single coverage while safety float
drop
high.
out of this.
Shearer takes snap. He's going to hand it off, running right up the gut, and room to run as he breaks a couple tackles, and he's got daylight. Can he be ran down from behind? What a recovery, saving the touchdown for Eldon.
Who was that?
I can't see the number. It's got to be a Beanland with that kind of speed, but nonetheless, Southern Boone, a breakaway play to the 11-yard line. It's the far side corner. It almost looks like it could have been Evan.
That's the problem when you bring pressure, right, is there's no one over the top to help in the run game. Go ahead.
That's Jalen Beckman.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Jalen Beckman's speed showed right there as he is the only thing that saved that touchdown as Hudson Talley saw nothing but green grass between him and the end zone. 1st and 10 for Southern Boone from the 11 of the Mustangs. Shearer going to hand it off. Talley looking for room up the middle. Bounces it outside. He's hit at the 10, dragged down at the 8. All right, that's not Talley, excuse me. That is Hunold. Travers Hunold.
Yeah, Travers Hunold. He also had that last big run, too.
Oh, my apologies. I've been thinking that's 22 and it's 21 this whole time.
Yeah, and Hunold, really did a good job. Once he broke kind of that first line of defense, both hands of the ball, and he was nothing fancy, just plowing forward.
Sometimes the most important part of being a running back is to keep leaning forward and moving forward and rolling out to throw. Shearer, he's got a man. Is it caught? No, it was broken up by the Eldon defense pass just a little too high, and the corners were closing quick.
That play would be really effective if Eldon had been playing man defense, right?
Yeah.
Someone's chasing him on the other side, motion man. Since they were in zone, Devin Hardy just chucks his man off and comes up to go make a play on it. Really nice play.
You really get dangerous when you're playing a zone defense like that if you float those passes because, Eldon's got speed all across that secondary, and Devin Hardy is no exception to that rule. Matt, you ought to see Devin Hardy play basketball sometime. He's listed at 5'6". He scores all his points in the paint. Makes no sense. Shearer takes the snap, hands it off, and the back is hitting the backfield, still fighting for yardage as he's able to minimize the loss, but he's going to be dragged down at the 10-yard line. This Eldon D-line is playing well on the edges right now.
They're inspired. A lot more inspired than we saw last week. I'm sure that was emphasized throughout the week.
Well, and there was at least, 3 or 4 different Eldon Mustang players in the backfield, too. It wasn't just one person. That was a team effort right there.
I think this is an interesting thing that we haven't touched on yet. Southern Boone is playing on a short week, having played on Saturday last week.
That is true.
It's a little tougher to get prepared there. It's takes some mental focus. Plus, you got the extra distractions of homecoming. You never know what's going on.
By the way, this game is streaming at MoSportsZone.com or on the new MoSportsZone app. 2 receivers, 2 each side for Shearer. He drops back, being pressured. Gonna uncork one in the middle, floats it up, and it falls incomplete. He put that pass where it had to be, but the receiver could not bring it in. And a great job being there by the Eldon secondary. I'm pretty certain that was Beckman again in coverage. I'm not positive, but Jalen Beckman's kind of good at football.
Yeah, no, he does a really good job. Super athletic, can get it done on both sides of the ball. But I'm with you, though. That pass by the quarterback, I don't have his number in front of me, that was a great thrown ball. He was, his receiver had a chance.
Shearer is a very accurate quarterback, and he does a good job going through his reads.
Yeah, and this is his first year in the starting role position after Austin A.J. Evans graduated last year. And we've seen Shearer just kind of develop and grow in that quarterback position throughout the season.
So after the turnover on downs, Mustangs will start off from their own 10, a handoff on first down, and Southern Boone was waiting on it as they meet the back at the line of scrimmage. I'm hoping through the video I can actually see who the back is in the game. I believe, if I'm seeing that right, that is Brisbane. No, that is Landon Beanland, excuse me.
It looks like
Landon.
The Landon Beanland stance is very linebackery, if that makes sense, like the way he stands in the backfield. That's what I thought, but I couldn't tell.
Landon filled in for Andrew earlier in the season and did an exceptional job, but that'll make it 2nd and 10. And on second down, Evan going to keep it and runs right through contact. He'll only pick up 1. So we actually saw this last week with Hallsville, that on the opening drive or 2, Eldon had a lot of positive gains out of this quarterback keeper situation. However, as the game went along, Hallsville started to game plan for it. So I want to see how the offensive coordinators for the Mustangs mix and match plays to kind of keep Southern Boone on their toes.
Oh, and when you don't have Andrew, Landon is kind of more of a fullback. So letting him be the lead blocker on things makes it a little bit easier. But when teams can key in on this, it makes it a little bit harder. He will be really good in pass protection right here, though.
3rd and 8, 2 receivers to each side. They're going to fake the handoff. Evan rolling out. He throws out. Never mind. We're going to get a false start on this.
Dead 2 men in motion.
Oh, well, that'll do it too.
A false start.
Yeah. False start on Jawan Taylor. Oh, and excuse me. Never mind. That's not on him. That's first time in a while.
Those are the plays that Coach was talking about before the game that really start to add up, right? Shooting themselves in the foot. They had a really good setup play there. They were going to have someone come open on an intermediate route and probably have a chance to pick up the first down. Instead, Southern Boone gets to see their play call, and now they have to try to execute again.
Well, and just pushes them even farther back. I mean, for Eldon, you have a long ways to go. You had 3rd and long, and now it's 3rd and even longer, too.
Right.
We'll see what the Mustangs do. It's a combination of, yes, you want to pick up the yardage, but you also don't want to force anything here. Trips right for Beanland. Evan drops back to throw. He's going to call his own number, runs to the left side, a little room. He's got one man to take on, takes the contact, stretches forward, and picks up another Martin Metal first down out of the 22-yard line. Sometimes you just have an athlete that is such a great athlete that he can just piggyback it himself when he needs to and pick up the yardage.
Well, and with Eldon spreading the ball too, spreading out with the 2 at the top, 2 in the near side, it gave him more options and more lanes to run, and he took advantage of it.
You got to have a spy on him, right? Like, so someone's going to need to be in the middle of the field keeping up on him, but he's just probably going to be more athletic than your spy anyway, so it makes it tough.
2 out to each side, and they're going to run the jet sweep. Southern Boone all over it. My goodness, what a play by the big man, 75 for the Eagles. Is that Aiden Young? Aiden Young, the senior D lineman, and the receiver for the Mustangs had no chance. He got the handoff, and he immediately was hugged by Young, who, we don't have sizes listed, but I bet he has ever been looking down there of 6'3" and probably a good 260 to go with it.
Yeah, now you're behind the sticks again early in the set of downs, which is not what you want at all. You already picked up 1 3rd and long. You only get so many of those in a game. Definitely so many of them in a series.
Yeah, it'll be 2nd and about 15 here for the Mustangs. They go trips left, receiver in motion, fake the handoff. Beanland going to throw back. It's a screen to the screen pass is dropped, mind you. I don't know there was going to be a lot there. He tried to hit Devin Hardy on the screen and let him run up that left sideline, but I like the play call. Sell it out to the right, try to get the secondary to go with you, and then throw it back to Hardy with a little room to work. But instead, the Mustangs facing a 3rd and long.
Well, in that time for Eldon, really didn't have much time to do anything with the ball with for the Eagles on defense. Doing a good job of putting pressure on the quarterback.
I really think here you need to try to move the pocket. Don't have him drop straight back. You don't want him to make a turnover. He's a lot better when he's on the run.
One safety high on that trip side for the Mustangs. Beanland, he uncorks one down the sideline. It's a low ball going down to make the catch is Brisbane, and he pulls that in at the 26-yard line. A nice play. It'll pick up about half of what the Mustangs need. However, that will bring up a 4th and 5, and I feel like you're in a punting situation.
That's a play we saw them hit on a few times last week. They had a lot of success with it, but last week they hit the receiver in stride. This time, not able to do that. He had to go down. I'm guessing we'll see a punt here, maybe a hard count first.
Eldon loves to do this where they'll line up. Well, now they're going to go trips right. This is not punt formation. Now backing up for the punt. They really want to get Southern Boone in tight so they can just boom one over their head. And Evan, not his best punt. It's a wobbler, and it will go out of bounds just across midfield. We'll see where they spot it, and they will – very good field position, actually, or very favorable spot for the Mustangs at the 46-yard line of the Eagles. So, if you're Eldon, there's some positives on that drive, but a big stop for Southern Boone trying to keep momentum on this homecoming.
Yeah, that was really the first time the crowd had something to cheer about. They kind of got into it on that first down play where lost a 6 or 7, and really just finally feeding off the momentum of the crowd.
As I mentioned, MoSportsZone.com or the new MoSportsZone app. 1st and 10 for the Eagles from their own 46, trips right. Hard count again. They're really trying to get the Mustangs moved so they can get a read on the defense early. They'll be trips right, 2 out on the near side. Empty backfield for Shear. He takes the snap, and it's a bullet across middle. It's picked off by the Mustangs. Tip pass hauled in by Eldon at the 48-yard line. What is that, 30?
Is that 83?
I have no idea. I feel so bad. I would love to give credit for who this is.
I think it might have been 83. but I could be wrong.
You think that's 83? There's not an 83 on the roster. I thought it was 39, but there's not one of those on the roster.
I don't know.
Either way, Eldon got the interception and the ball back at the 48 off a tipped pass.
Well, that's anytime there's a tip pass like that, it is up for grabs. And boy, I mean, quick reaction by Eldon on defense to gobble that ball up and get that interception.
You don't see linebackers move like that in the tip pass game very often. He shot his hands up to catch that one.
Tight formation, trips right. Beckman comes in motion, fake the handoff, and a quick bullet across the middle. They were trying to get Hardy on the slant, and it falls incomplete.
That's one where you're faking that run play to try to get the linebackers to flow over and create a window there. I don't think it's an RPO in Eldon's offense, though, and that's one where the linebackers didn't give the pass read, so there wasn't a lot of space. But since it's just a straight pass play, it's not an RPO, he has to throw it.
Yeah, I don't mind it, though.
No.
I mean, mix it in early, because at the end of the day, you've got to keep the defense guessing of what's coming next, because I really get the vibe Southern Boone's defense is based solely off their linebacker play. If you watch those three linebackers in the middle, and they are really selling out on any of these run plays, and they do well in coverage also. Out of the shotgun, Evan under some pressure, rolling out to his left, throws on the run. A nice catch made, but immediately taking a big hit. Is that
number 5 on the hit?
Yeah, Jace Trop for the Eagles on defense. That's one of those, like, sure tackles. I mean, he wrapped up, he held on, and did not let go.
Great commitment and a good job for the Mustangs. I thought that was Brisbane on the catch again. Good job being sure-handed with it. Yeah. It's easy to have the ball pop loose on some of those, but so another 3rd and long from midfield for the Mustangs. It'll be about 3rd and 8.
I think an underrated underrated part of that play was the angle that the defender took right there, making sure that he didn't allow Eldon to hit the sideline. He shot out of a cannon to make that tackle. Now another big 3rd down, but probably 4-down territory across the 50 if you can get 4 or 5.
2 out to each side. Evan, he's going to uncork one down the right sideline, looking for the man, and it's picked off by Southern Boone. Oh, no, it did fall incomplete. Good eye as Evan just put a smidge too much on that one as he was looking. He had Brisbane and Hardy on that side. I think he was going for Brisbane. And if Brisbane was about 2 inches taller, he'd have pulled that in.
It was the exact same play they ran on the last 4th down, just tried to go back to the well. This time, though, on the left hash, throwing it back to the right side of the field. It's a long throw for a high school quarterback to make.
Well, and Eldon Eagles on defense, they were playing zone defense, just sitting back, waiting for that pass to be thrown in the air.
And a great job by their secondary. The corner that made a dive for that, boy, he sold out trying to bring that in.
And if you're Eldon, you're happy punting here. You won the field position battle off that turnover.
Beanland to punt, and Evan gets a good kick on this one as it will hit the 15, going to the end zone. Can the Mustangs beat it there? And they do. Wow. Great rundown by the special teams unit of the Mustangs as they are going to pin Southern Boone at about the 5-yard line. What a punt by Evan and a great recovery. That's where Southern Boone will start their drive when we come back. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Since 1991, Capital Monuments and the Atterbury family has served and supported the Mid-Missouri area. They've been offering generations of memorial experience by designing and creating the highest quality monuments. At Capital Monuments, they specialize in creating personalized and lasting tributes, from pre-need and at-need family memorials to military and community tributes. Come in and talk with one of their monument design specialists. They're located west of Jefferson City in Apache Flats, or visit capitalmonuments.com for photo samples. Capital Monuments, the tribute that lasts forever.
1st and 10 for Southern Boone, looking to throw downfield from their own 5, and it falls incomplete in the middle of the field.
The quarterback and the receiver are on a little bit of different page there. I think the quarterback thought that he was going towards the upright, right, on a skinny post, and the receiver was trying to bend that across the field and get towards the sideline, and throw was a little off.
I mean, if you're Southern Boone, though, I kind of like the idea of take your shot on 1st down, even though you're backed up. So they'll go 2 to each side. Shear backed up, going to throw again. He does the quick route. He's got a man out in the flat. Catch is made. And fighting for extra yardage and moving the chains for Southern Boone. That'll be a 12-yard pickup for 1st down. Now, that one, I've said his name a bunch. I'm positive that was 22 on that one. That was Tally on the catch finally, I think. Either way, that's how the first quarter will come to an end. Southern Boone moves the sticks. They'll have a new set of downs when we come back. It's 8-0 after 1. Eldon leads the Eagles. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Lakefront Homes, luxury homes, condos, first-time home buyers, farms, foreclosures, townhomes, villas, lakefront, commercial. First Choice Realty is Eldon's oldest and most trusted real estate brokerage. Christopher Weeberry is a lifelong resident of the Lake area and real estate salesperson. Call Chris Weeberry with First Choice Realty today if you're thinking about selling or looking to purchase a new home. 573-480-2313. That's 573-480-2313.
The Shine Family Furniture brings big savings on all bedding and furniture. They've got savings throughout the store. Shop their full line of mattresses, all sizes, all brands, on sale now. Their stores have a big selection of new styles and colors to update your home now. Bedroom sets to end tables, dining sets to recliners. 12-month free financing with approved credit and free delivery. Of course, if you see it in their store, you can take it home today. The Shine Family Furniture, located between the Taco Bell and Pizza Hut in Versailles.
We're back with the H&R Block of Versailles second quarter. Eldon leads 8-0 after one. Southern Boone, though, with the ball, picking up a first down at their own 22-yard line? 20, yeah, I'm not really sure. No, they're not even that far.
I think they're on the 18.
Yeah, that works, too. Uncorking one down the middle of the field, and no one there. That's twice we've seen that. Is it just a lack of communication, or is the timing off?
On that one, to be honest with you, it really looked like he thought he was going to have pressure maybe and was trying to get rid of it a little bit quicker, but I didn't see a whole lot there. I think it was just not good timing.
So 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. They'll split out two receivers, two each side. Eldon with one safety high. Receiver comes in motion. They're going to hand it off to the halfback. He takes contact and is wrestled down just shy of the 20. So just a 1-yard gain for Southern Boone. That's going to make it 3rd and 9.
Some of the other games going on around the area. One score update to pass along. Camdenton leads 7-0 early on in the first quarter against Rockbridge. Of course, that game available on Mix 92.7. Other games in the area include Osage at Hallsville, Versailles hosting Clinton, Tipton at Fayette, Warsaw hosting El Dorado Springs, California at Booneville tonight.
Right here with Southern Boone, and they go to the hard count. Here's the problem. The hard count worked for the wrong team. The receiver was 6 yards down the field on his route. He looked back like, wait, I thought we were going on one, guys.
Looks like Osage is up 14-0 on Hallsville.
I can't help but notice that you're seeing that game at MoSportsZone.com. Yeah, we'll try to get some updates out of Versailles as well, as they are at home hosting 0-5 Clinton. Now, Versailles, just call it what it is, a little beat up right now. A lot of injuries for the Tigers, but that is a game, Tigers at 1-4, Clinton at 0-5. You got to think they got a shot in that one.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a dogfight, but it's definitely going to be tough without
Murdoch?
Murdoch, yeah, that's a tough one to lose.
Trips left for Southern Boone, fakes the handoff. Instead, they're going to throw a screen pass, well-designed play. Running back's got a little space fighting forward, and he picks up the first down. Well-designed play for the Eagles all the way out to the 32-yard line. Tell you what, I am very impressed with what I've seen out of Hunolt, as he's got a lot of speed, and he is a strong runner as well.
Yeah, that time he was contacted about 3 yards before the first down and just powered through a defender to get it.
Looking to pass on first down, a pump fake, and a pass caught just shy of the 40, turning, making defenders miss, diving forward enough for another first down. Southern Boone's starting to get a little momentum right now.
Well, I think for Southern Boone, it's not just one player when it comes to running the ball. You mentioned Hunolt. There's also Logan Bishop, who runs the ball very well. And then you have the wide receivers as well that can, not only catch the ball, but they can run the ball after catching it.
Yeah, and I think that what it takes for their offense, I mean, the short passing game is all about rhythm. And now that they've completed a few, they're moving the ball down the field, they look a lot more in rhythm.
It's going to be a screen pass to Hunolt, and the Mustangs were waiting on him. He caught the screen at the 38, and Eldon caught him at the 38.
Yeah, teams that have tried to block Eldon's linebackers and defensive backs with receivers have not had a lot of success this year. They've done a really good job. Those guys are not afraid to get up in the faces of defender or receivers, that is, and tackle. And another great job there.
The first contact came from junior defensive back Cody Brown, 5'11" and 175. That's a stout.
He's big, and he can move, too.
Absolutely. Trips left on 2nd and long, uncorking one up the right side of the field. Big fella's got it, rumbling towards midfield. He'll be ridden out of bounds, but not before getting another first down. I didn't know that he got that far, but that's out to the 47, 48 of Eldon.
Well, I think Eldon on defense, I feel like we're watching them play on defense, especially with confidence. They're not second guessing. They're not unsure. They're going after the ball, and they're making some great plays.
But if you're going to talk about that confidence, Southern Boone has found some. These throws right now coming off the hands of Shearer are with purpose. He's not second guessing that read when he sees it, and he's getting a lot of different people involved at the moment. That was Piper with the catch and run, and Piper, a big boy in his own right. I mean, maybe not super heavy, but I bet he stands a good 6'3", 6'4" down there himself. Shearer will go to the hard count. Mustangs don't jump, trying to get a read on the defense. It is trips left for him in the shotgun as he's got Hunnell to his right, one receiver on the near side. That is Piper. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. First time we've seen this from Shearer, and the Mustangs say, no, we see that in practice a lot, so it's going to be held to a 1-yard gain.
I was going to say, just about any time that Eldon goes one-on-ones with their defense and their offense, I'm sure that's the play they see about 95% of the time. So
I got to believe Coach Griffin just stands there and goes, please, nobody hurt each other today.
Seriously.
Now, I'd pay good money to watch Blair Oaks do that in practice. I bet that's like watching a small college football game.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Trips left again for Shearer. Takes the snap. He's going to run the option. Pitches it out to Hunnell. Little room to work. Mustangs closing in, and they drag him down at the 23-yard line. So that play had big play potential to it, but the Mustangs hold him to about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, the Eagles are able to kind of stretch the play, get positive yards, but not able to turn the corner. And again, we've talked about the speed from Eldon. We saw it there on defense.
Yeah, they're not going to allow anyone to turn the corner. And that's what's really nice about having that speed is typically you let the quarterback tuck that up, and then instead they can have, as we're going to get a timeout here, I'd assume, from Eldon.
Yeah, and that's one,
they're just going to slow things down.
Okay, Southern Boone is going to definitely throw here. I guess the clock had some issues, and they had to repump the play clock, and now it is wound. Hunnell is off the field. They're going with an empty backfield, trips right, 2 to the left for Shearer. I'm expecting something to come out of his hands quick. He drops back, low snap, sets his feet. He's under pressure, splits between 2 defenders. He's going to get out and run, crosses the 25-20, dragged down from behind, but not before another first down as he bulldozes his way ahead to the 16-yard line.
That's textbook right there. Anytime you teach a quarterback, feel the pressure on either side, step up, and get out to a side. His running game hadn't worked too well on the designed runs, but that time
the footwork when the two defenders closed on him, he split that gap beautifully.
That was nice.
Well, it's really the first time we've seen Shearer have success running the ball, and he's not afraid to run it. So, I mean, he has the threat, especially with those short, precise passes, but he can run it too.
And the shotgun, he's going to hand it off, trying to bounce the outside. A hard hit, ball's on the ground, diving for it. Who's going to come up with it? As a big pop by the linebacker, Frieden. It looks like Southern Boone is going to recover this one, but my goodness. Linebacker from Eldon dropped the shoulder and popped the running back early, and that ball came loose, and you see as soon as it does, Coach is saying, Hunnell, get back in the game. Go.
Yeah. Got to get the clock back.
So that's going to back Southern Boone up a smidge. It'll be 2nd and 12 now from the 20 of the Mustangs, but you're in 4-down territory as Eldon leads Southern Boone 8-0. It's going to be a handoff to Hunnell. He's got a gap up the middle, follows it, and he gets his legs clipped out at about the 12-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, somewhere in that ballpark.
It's got to be relieving for the Southern Boone running back because that's the first time they've ran him up the middle and he's looked up and not seen 3 Eldon defenders in his face. Right, that time very well blocked by the Southern Boone offensive line and a big time play.
These are two, fairly closely matched sized lines here. As there's a lot of size, especially at right tackle. Hunnell trying to go to the left. He avoids one man, but 2 more Mustangs waiting for him as they're going to hold him to no gain. And this is going to be a huge 4th down for Southern Boone. You've driven the length of the field, essentially, got all the way into the red zone of the Mustangs. If you convert, you're likely leaving with points. If you get stopped, that's a big momentum killer.
Well, I think for Southern Boone, you don't have to score a touchdown. You can get a first down before having to get a touchdown. Right. And so
are they going to kick?
Field goal? I think so.
I'm sorry. I just wrote that off as not expected because we don't see a lot of field goals.
I mean, if it's the same guy as the punter, then he's got a good chance.
And they are going to go for the field goal. Good snap, good set. Kick is away. Wow. I understand why that
field goal.
Never mind. I understand why Southern Boone chose to kick that field goal. That was beautiful. Harrison Butker with the 30-yard field goal out there for Southern Boone.
That's impressive.
Wow. The Eagles are on the board. Eldon leads 8-3. They'll get the ball back when we come back. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Since 1882, the Bank of Versailles has been locally owned and operated. Lending decisions are made right here in our community by people who understand real estate in the area. The Bank of Versailles is your local home and farm loan specialist, offering knowledgeable staff and competitive fixed rates that are hard to beat. The Bank of Versailles, building relationships with the people in our local community for 142 years. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we're back at the H&R block of Versailles' second quarter, part of this Hewlett Chevrolet Buick GMC broadcast, broadcasting live, MoSportsZone.com. Honestly, I was worried about the picture. It turned out pretty nice now that I'm looking at it, and special thanks to Britt on the camera. And we got Ryan and Matt in here with me on the call. Justin back at the studio. Eldon leads 8-3. Southern Boone putting points on the board, but the Mustangs are going to have a chance to answer.
And when you got a ability to just settle down and kick a 30-yard field goal at this level, I mean, Eldon, that's a big-time thing to have.
Eldon has 3 returners back. Just now realized that.
We about to see something special here?
We might. One's Hardy, one's Beckman, and I think the other might be Landon. And on the kickoff, Southern Boone just going to boom this one to Devin Hardy. I wondered because I'm like, Devin, you're not running. I'm confused.
I was confused too.
It's like, is that an option? Can you just catch it and say, no, we're good?
I feel like this is really odd because you don't normally see this, but you could literally see like an option out of Eldon right now with their 3 returners back there. Like they could literally huddle up and just be like, nah, you take it.
Is that a drone?
That is probably an airplane being so close to Columbia Regional Airport.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's kind of the flight path that they go when it comes to landing.
Drone,
you took a guy out of Stover, Versailles area. I assume drone or UFO, all right? Either was possible.
There's an alien out there.
All right, Southern Boone going to be backed up after the penalty. They're kicking off from their own 35. And like I said, I believe you've got Beanland, Beckman, and Hardy waiting. And instead, they're going to try the onside. And it's recovered by Southern Boone. If it has the distance, that's Eagle ball. I mean, you could not have kicked that better. The kicker recovers it as well. What touch. Yeah, he got backed up to the 35 and recovered it at the 46-yard line. It needed to go 10. It went 11.
Call me crazy. And this could be just completely out of pocket. Did they take the penalty on purpose?
I almost
to try
think
it,
they
like,
did.
Catch him off guard and try it. I don't know. Call me crazy. That might be dumb.
I mean,
that's a crazy.
And the refs have signaled it will indeed be Southern Boone ball. So I got to say, this kicker has really impressed me. 32. So the kicker, that'd be Jackson Woodward.
Have a day, man.
He's also a wide receiver and defensive back. And back in the shotgun, they're going to pitch it out to Hunold. He runs on the right side. He's got room as he crosses midfield. The 45 finally dragged down at the 40. So every bit of momentum has now shifted over to the Eagles as they are starting to try to take some control in this game, trailing the Mustangs.
Well, and going back to that onside kick, I felt like, that ball had so much spin, but I felt like it was like in slow motion, where it was it was a pretty play.
Onside kicking is one of the toughest things to do in football. I mean, we watch NFL players go out there and struggle to get the kicks in the right placement all the time. So for a high school kid to walk out here and just bomb a 30-something yard field goal like it's nothing, and then follow it up with an executed onside kick, I have a day, son. 2 receivers out to the left in the shotgun. Southern Boone from the 40 of the Mustangs. Low snap handed off to Hunold. He's run to the left side, but the Mustangs meet him in the backfield. He's going to be hit for a loss. Once again, linebacker play of Eldon has been exceptional this evening.
Why's the clock stopped?
I don't know. The official's asking the same question.
That's the question, though. Like, how tired is this Eldon defense, right? They just had a length of the field drive on them, and I think that's why it was the perfect time to call an onside kick if you're Southern Boone. Like, you got a team kind of on their heels, although they did get the stop, but then it's like, we're happy, but now we got to go back out in the field. We're pretty tired. A few of these guys play both ways,
Roger Goodell, if you're listening, you've ruined the game, man. You took this excitement out of it. Two receivers split out, two each side. Shearer alone in the backfield. Receiver comes in motion. They fake the jet sweep. He's looking to throw. No one open. He's thinking about the run on the right side. He'll uncork one down the right sidelines. Overthrows the receiver, though. Great job by the Mustangs. That was all coverage in the secondary. Shearer had nowhere to go with it.
Shearer did have a lot of time in the backfield to kind of survey the field, but like you said, no real good options. He kind of threw it and overthrew it too.
But that's a good job, a good decision by Shearer. If you're going to throw this one, make sure it's a place that if anybody has a chance at it, it's your wide receiver.
I don't know. I mean, you can speak to this. I don't know if he's typically a guy that likes to get out of the pocket and scramble around, but he's done a pretty good job at it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been able to extend the play when feeling pressure from Eldon's defense.
Spread package from Southern Boone. They uncork one down the left sideline. It's going to be caught, but it's going to be well short of the first down, pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That's going to bring up a interesting decision. It's going to be 4th and 5 for the Eagles. And are they going to want to talk this one over? I hear whistles.
Could be a good time for someone to take a timeout.
Well, the official was practicing the YMCA. By the way, so last week we talked about the water rule, as it looks like there is going to be a timeout. I don't know if it's an official's timeout or who, but I'm going to call it a Lloyd Belts automotive timeout either way. And last week we talked about the water rules, and you said there had been something proposed essentially that right now it's based on the week. We had the mandated water breaks at the 6-minute mark of each quarter, and now those have been gone. But here's the thing. It's 80-something degrees out here tonight.
Yes.
It would make sense to have water breaks tonight. And if I understand, did you tell me that now it's going to be, or they're proposing that it be based on temperature?
Yeah. So there's a group of schools down in the Springfield area, like some of the bigger schools, that are proposing that you do it based on the wet bulb temperature. So, you've always got your trainer down there making sure it's okay temperature to play a football game. And they'll just base it off of that. So it's week to week. You could have a water break in week 9, or you could have week 1 where there are no water breaks because it's raining and storming.
Wait, you said the trainer picking if it's an okay temperature. I've never seen a game canceled for temperature. How hot does it have to get for that?
I don't know. That's a valid question. I think it's more practices that happens in, but it can happen.
We're in Eldon. It's 140 degrees.
Yeah.
All right, it's going to be 4th and 5. Hard count from Shearer. No one bites. He walks back, gets a sign from the coaching staff. He's got trips right, 2 receivers out to his left. He's at the 35 of the Mustangs. Goes back, takes the snap. He's looking to his right. He's going to uncork one. Deep pass. Corner fell down. That had 6 written all over, but the receiver gets overthrown. Eldon got a break there. The corner just tangled his feet and fell. But it falls incomplete, so that'll force a turnover on down. Ball back to the Mustangs.
Boy, that's a tough break for Southern Boone because, like you said, a wide open wide receiver for the Eagles. Ball overthrown. I don't know. You need what? They needed 5 or 6 yards, and you go for the home run ball? That's tough.
It's tough, but then you sit there and you're like, oh, he's wide open. Right?
Oh, yeah,
then
I agree.
It's like that cat and mouse. You're like, oh, he's wide open, but we need 5 yards, but it's,
A gift for the Mustangs, but a wise man once told me it's only a gift if you take it. Eldon will start off from their own 35. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Evan in the shotgun. He's got Landon to his left side. Receiver comes in motion. They're going to hand it to Landon. Trying to run behind the right guard. Takes contact. Keeps those feet churning. He got hit initially at about the 35-yard line. He didn't stop moving until the 40.
This is an interesting possession for if you're Eldon, because you're looking up at the clock. There's about 4:50 left, right? You want to try to decide if you're trying to drain this clock. Both teams have 3 timeouts. We could see 2 or 3 more possessions in this half, but Eldon gets the ball at half. So if you could run the ball a few times, maybe pick up 1 or 2 first downs running the football.
Get Devin Hardy in range.
Yeah, you never know.
I personally, if I'm Eldon, would take the technique of we just want to keep moving the chains. If we score a little early, we're all right with it as long as we score.
Right.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Receiver comes in motion, fake the jet sweep. Evan's going to keep it, but Southern Boone was ready as he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain. That's going to make it 3rd and 7.
Well, I feel like the Chiefs are the best when it comes to on offense towards the end of the first half, and they get the ball in the second half, get that back-to-back possessions on offense, and see if Eldon can take advantage of that because, a lot of time left on the clock. They can continue to be patient and not have to feel like they have to rush things on offense.
This is like where your decision time is. How aggressive do you want to be on this 3rd down, knowing that if you throw the ball and it's an incomplete pass, the other team has 3 minutes and 3 timeouts to try to score?
And Southern Boone is playing the short pass. They've got 1 safety high at midfield. Evan going to fake the handoff, rolls out. He gets the defense to jump. He's got time to throw, and he's got a man at the 48. Evan Beanland got him to bite on the fake. 2 pass rushers jumped. He set his feet, and he found Brisbane at the 48-yard line of the Eagles for a Martin Meadow first down.
He's so effective with his legs. When they move the pocket for him on third down, he's comfortable rolling out either way, left or right, whichever way is the short side of the field, and he can extend the play with his legs.
It doesn't seem like much, but I'm calling that an early candidate for play of the game just because of the skill involved with that and the composure. New set of downs at the 48 of the Eagles. In the shotgun, 2 receivers out to the right. Game clock down to a little over 3 minutes to play. Mustangs still with 3 timeouts, and it's going to be a keeper. Evan trying to run behind the guard. Southern Boone's D-line has become stout in this second quarter as they're going to hold him to just a 1-yard gain.
Well, going back to that last pass play by Evan Beeland, I mean, talk about not only able to extend the play with his feet, but patience, too. I mean, he was feeling a lot of pressure, did not affect him, and he was able to make that connection.
I think that's why he's so comfortable out in spaces, because when you're in the pocket, you can't necessarily, you don't feel like you have your legs to lean on. You start rolling out and you're moving, you're being an athlete while scanning the field. You're a little more comfortable even if you have 2-3 defenders in your face.
Keep an eye on Jalen Beckman. They are giving him 8 yards of green grass, really not pressing him at the line. Evan going to roll out to the right. Good job blocking to buy him some time. He's going to keep it himself, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Short gain. Good job by the Southern Boone defense to close out. It'll be 3rd and, we'll say about 5, maybe 6 for the Mustangs.
Eldon's really fell in love with this flood concept where they kind of just throw everyone on the right side and roll them out, or on the left side and roll them out. I'm wondering if there's a wrinkle in this at some point where they have a throwback screen, they have a throwback pass even, where there's someone on that other side of the field that's just standing wide open. It's just, little things that maybe keep in the back of your head for later in the game.
This gets interesting because I don't know if the Mustangs stay 4-down territory here. I mean, you're on the Southern Boone side of the field.
Getting the ball in the second half,
And Evan going to keep it, trying to run to his left, looking for the corner, crosses the 40, and he's hit at the 36-yard line. Where are they going to spot it? It's going to be close, and it looks like it's a Martin Metal first down for Evan Beeland.
Oh, I think a nice spot for Eldon, too, and able going to move the chains, not even using a measure, too.
Yeah, that was an impressive run because it was supposed to hit up inside, and it wasn't there, and Beeland just took it upon himself to run outside and try to get it himself.
If you ever want to know why having track stars matters, that turned into a one-on-one race to get to the edge, and Evan was able to win that race. So new set of downs at the 37-yard line of Southern Boone. Eldon moving the ball up 8-3. 2 receivers to the right. Evan, he's going to fake the handoff, rolls out to his right. He's looking to throw. He uncorks one. Got a man out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Make that the 33-yard line. Trying to see who that was with the catch. That may have been Brisbane again.
Well, he got out of bounds, able to stop the clock, didn't have to worry about using a timeout, and a chance to take your time, get the right play, get it in correctly, and get set.
Another Martin Metal first down for the Mustangs. So now this gets interesting because you've got just under 2 minutes to play. Time is not really a huge factor anymore.
Not with 3 timeouts.
In all honesty, you're flirting with that Devin Hardy field goal range if all else fails, and you get the ball back in the second half. 2 receivers to the left, handoff. No, Evan going to keep it. Spin move to avoid the sack.
Oh, that's not going to, that's going to send the Eldon coaching staff in a frenzy.
What just happened?
They said that Beeland's was down.
Oh.
It wasn't.
Oh, saying that Evan Beeland's knee touched on the spin move. Otherwise, Evan's in the end zone right now. But I will say the Eldon coaches don't seem too heated about it. They will burn a timeout, Lloyd Belt automotive timeout. So, I mean, the refs are right there. Maybe it did. I mean,
I don't know. The reaction on the Eldon sideline right when it happened tells me that maybe it didn't. But it's a tough situation to be in as a referee because they're so big on player safety, especially quarterback safety, and someone has a free shot on him if he's laying on the ground. It's just
we forget that Evan Beeland is not your prototypical quarterback. No. He's more of a running back that can throw the ball well.
Well, and that spin happened so fast too that I think for any ref, you just have to make a judgment call.
Yeah, of course. And like I said,
someone's going to be mad either way.
We don't do this very often, but I got to give the officials credit. I think this has been a very well officiated first half. I mean, not a ton of flags have been thrown in this game, and that's my favorite kind of football. Like, I feel like as an official, your goal is to call as few penalties as you can, if that's possible. Of course, player safety and everything's first, but, I mean, I know we've got Justin back at the studio right now. Justin, is it safe to say your ideal night as a ref is if you don't have to do anything?
That's always a good time if you don't have to and just let the players play and let them decide it.
I think that's a
always
clear-cut
best.
answer right there.
I'll fill in for Justin. Yeah, that's the best night, right?
All righty. Eldon now facing 2nd and 12 from the 25-yard line, 26-yard line, that is. Beanland back to pass. Looking, uncorking one for the end zone, and it's overthrown and falls incomplete.
Had a window there. That's a window that a Division I college football quarterback makes or an NFL quarterback makes. But I like the idea. I like the thought process. And just even giving your receiver a chance is nice there.
So, excuse me, they're on the 35, not the 25. They're on the 25. Man, I am struggling tonight. Numbers are just tough. So, I don't know, once again, what Devin Hardy's field goal range is.
They haven't been too keen to use it.
They haven't. I would like to see him get a look before the half, if possible, if they can't convert here, but we'll see what they do. On 3rd and long, Evan going to roll out to his left, sets his feet, fires a rocket. It's caught spinning free at the 10. Cut back, move, and tackle just shy. Ball comes loose, and it's recovered by Eldon in the end zone. That's a touchdown, Mustangs.
Wow.
Just like you drew it up, hit the guy in the flat, fumble the ball, Mustangs recover it, and they extend their lead.
What a play there, and we talked about it. Anytime he moves the pocket, he's really comfortable. This is what we saw at Hunter Hess last year, right? Moving the pocket and making throws on the run, and Beanland doing a great job of it tonight. What a throw, what a finish of the play.
Well, and how fortunate Eldon is to follow on that ball in the end zone, too, because that was close.
It's really bounced their way tonight.
Yeah.
Like, let's put it how it is.
Extra point attempt. Hardy lines it up and knocks it down. So Eldon, a big drive there with just over a minute to go. They extend their lead to 15-3. And since we are closing in on halftime, we'll go ahead and hold it here for a moment. I mean, how important was that drive?
I mean, it was perfect. I felt like there were multiple times in that drive where it felt like it was going to stall out. And that would have changed the game drastically, because if Southern Boone gets a chance there with 3 timeouts and an air raid offense, they're probably putting some points on the board, right?
Well, and I think during this game tonight, points are going to be at a premium. And so, if it would have been maybe a field goal, but to get that touchdown for Eldon is huge. Getting ready to go into half, but this is where the Mustangs defense really needs to step up and make a stop, because last thing you want to do is give up maybe an easy touchdown heading into halftime.
Yeah, and that Eldon hasn't had very good starting field position defensively this year. It's not like they've got a guy that can boom it into the end zone for a touchback. They're going to have or do good on coverage here on the kickoff. But then to follow that, you don't want to get beat deep, so you're giving up the underneath routes. And with 3 timeouts and a kicker that's got a leg to at least kick a 30-yarder, that one was probably good from 40 on the last time. Like, it's a good chance that Southern Boone gets points on this drive.
Well, and we've seen the Eagles offense kind of, find their groove. It was a slow start for Southern Boone, but they've been able to get things going.
And on the kickoff, it's going to be a squib hopping, picked up at the 20, just falling on it at the 28 Southern Boone. So that really worked out well for Eldon, because if you're the Eagles now, you have to try to travel in a minute 21 about 72 yards. By the way, real quick, an update out of Versailles at the half. Clinton leads Versailles 13-6. So still a very good ball game there in Versailles. So this is big. I'm going to be honest. If I am Eldon, I'm considering playing a lot of prevent defense here. Keep it in front of you, tackle in bounds, the basic things. If they get 5 yards, cool, let them have it. Trips to the right. Shearer drops back. He's looking for a quick throw in the middle. It's caught and trying to shake a defender and get out of bounds. A great play after the catch, actually. After I've set my
number 22.
Yeah, who I've tried to give credit for everything tonight, Hudson Talley. That's I swear I don't have a deal with Hudson before the game. I didn't try to promise him all these extra stats, but that one is his.
Osage up 28-0 at halftime over Hallsville.
That's impressive, because that's a good Hallsville squad. Trips left, 2 to the right. Quickly, Shearer throws to the middle of the field. Once again, it is Talley. He's trying to get out of bounds, not before picking up a chunk yardage. He'll be wrestled down just shy of midfield.
Well, and we've seen the long passes downfield by the Eagles. We've seen short ones. That's where the Eagles have had success, those short to easy passes.
Southern Boone moving pretty quickly right now. Shearer, he's going to throw, same spot, same receiver, same result. It's caught at the 45s. Talley, though, running the wrong way at this point. And because of it, he's going to get wrestled down to the 48 of Eldon. So
take a timeout here, probably.
You're going to have to. And I understand Talley was trying to get to the sideline and create more space. Problem is he caught it at about the 43 and then ran 5 yards the other way trying to make space, a la Tyreek Hill.
Well, I think, like you said, trying to get out of bounds. But, hey, if you're going backwards, probably just not the best idea.
What was did they get a face mask at the end of that?
I think they might have.
I think they did. That makes a lot of sense. So That's
a big
gonna
time play.
That is Eldon. Forget the prevent defense. You're just gonna have to switch into legit defense now, as that will advance Southern Boone up to the 34-yard line of the Mustangs. Eldon leads 15-3 under a minute to play in this half. Shear, he looks right. Now rolling left. He's going to uncork one. He's got a man down the sideline, but that ball is going to air out of bounds. I mean, Shear moves really well in the pocket, does a good job looking off the defense.
You want to be smart here, though, as with time being a factor, like, you can't extend plays too long and not get anything out of them. You need to get at least 10 to 15 yards if you're going to extend a play past 6 or 7 seconds.
Well, and for Southern Boone, you still have 3 timeouts, and so you can still be a little patient. Obviously, there's a little bit of urgency with 43 seconds left, but you want to play smart football. And for the Eagles, you want to get points on this drive.
Still get a field.
Yeah.
Trips left for Shear in the shotgun. 2 to his right. He looks left. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's going to fire for the end zone. And I think Eldon basically blocked the vision of the receiver. He had a chance at it, but the coverage was just right in front of it, a 50-50 ball, and it comes up incomplete. That was nearly 6 for Southern Boone.
I think this is interesting because Eldon was struggling when they were in like that white picket fence coverage, right? Trying to stay back and stand at the maybe 20 yards off the ball even and allow that underneath stuff to happen. Now Southern Boone's kind of having to go deep because Eldon's taking away that underneath stuff.
In the shotgun, Shear going to roll out. He is looking to the left. He wants one at the 20, and he's got it out of bounds after the catch is made. That will move the chains and keep the drive alive with just about 30 seconds to go. So Southern Boone trying to get points just before the half, and they're doing a good job matriculating down the field.
Yeah, that was Southern Boone's Jace Troth with the reception, and we're seeing a number of Eagles players with the receptions on offense.
They've really spread the wealth tonight. A lot of weapons.
Their 2-minute offense has been impressive. Trips right, 2 to the left. Shear staying in the shotgun where we've seen him all night. This defense of the Mustangs spread out right now. See if Eldon can make a play. Shear looking left under pressure. He's going to have to roll to his right. Throws on the run and just has to toss it out of bounds. A great job. That's number 21 or 27 for Eldon, bringing the pressure. I believe that's going to be number 27, Jacob Kirkweg, the sophomore linebacker. Well, I say that, or it could have been Bryce Brinsden, the junior linebacker. Actually, that looks like Bryce because he's 6'1" and 170. So I'm going to be honest, if I'm Shear and I see that running at me, I'm probably throwing it away too. Second and 10 from the 20, Shear goes to the hard count. Eldon just about jumps but gets back.
Yeah, almost got him.
Trips right, 2 to the left. Right on the edge of the red zone for Shear. Takes the snap, drops back. He's looking to his right, uncorks one, middle of the field, going up to make the catch and fighting for extra yardage. Mustangs will bring him down. The ball comes out. And what's going to be the call here? They're going to say he was down first. No. Yes, he was down first, and then a timeout called by Southern Boone. So Southern Boone will stop the clock with, wow, you're right on the money, 18 seconds left as they are teetering on the edge of 6. They have got down to the 8-yard line. Man, this is – I once again can't explain how big this is momentum-wise. If you're Southern Boone and you get those points before the half, you feel really good about yourself. And in the same breath, if you're Eldon and you can stop them here, boy, you have all the energy going into the half.
Well, we've seen the momentum shift back and forth between both teams. And, if Eldon can get a stop on defense, right here next, so close to the end zone, how much momentum is that carrying into halftime and you get the ball back on offense?
With Eldon, I wouldn't be too worried defensively because driving down the field is what Southern Boone was going to be strong at, right? In a 2-minute offense, being able to hit the underneath, being able to throw the ball, that's where they succeed. Now, there's a lot less space. You can't stretch the defense vertically. Everything's going to be, your best almost 2-point conversion plays here from the 5-yard line. You're going to have 2 or 3 chances at it right here with the time you got, the timeouts you got.
I would not be shocked to see Shear call his own number at some point.
You could run the ball you got 2 timeouts. I mean, 100%. You could definitely run the ball.
Trips left for Shear in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right. On the 6-yard line, 7-yard line. Now Eldon going to take a timeout. They got to look at what Southern Boone was wanting to do here, and we'll see how they adjust their defense. I love this. This is the kind of game you ask for on a Friday night to start off October. As, by the way, you are listening to tonight's broadcast on KTKS Versailles, Eldon at the Lake of the Ozarks, 95.1 FM, also online at lakeradio.com and streaming at MoSportsZone.com and on the new MoSportsZone app. I'm Colton Taylor, Ryan Retone, Matt Sharp. I got with me on the broadcast. I got Britt on the camera, and Justin back at the studio. I remembered it and hit it at 8. Who am I?
You did. I'm impressed, honestly. It was like right on the money.
It's a Christmas miracle. Don't get used to it.
Might have been a little early. Might have to hit another one now.
Nope.
I think it was like 7:59.
Nope, not a chance. I've always wondered if I actually have to say all that. Like, is there legally, do I have to get all of that in?
I mean, as long as you do it like once an hour,
Right,
yeah.
Say something, it works.
I'm going to mix it up each time, give different towns and spaces. And
that's real.
Oh, so we'll see here. Southern Boone, if they come out in the same offensive package. I love that the wide receivers are already lined up while the offensive line and quarterback are talking things over still. So it'll be trips left, 2 to the right. Shearer in the shotgun. Hard count. Defense doesn't move. Shearer looks at the coach, goes, all right, we're going to stick with the play. Cool. Let me tell the big guys up front. Holler something out at them.
Pretty heavy box, considering it's 5 wide.
Shearer takes the snap, looking to his left. They run a quick out. It's caught. He cuts back inside, diving for the end zone, and he's got it. Southern Boone executes the 2-minute offense to perfection as they go down and put 6 on the board with just 13 seconds left in the half.
That's a big-time score right there. Makes it a game with 13 seconds. I mean, it's exactly what we expected. I'm really interested that Southern Boone didn't have any trouble on the goal line. Like, they were able to run the same things they did to get up and down the field.
Well, and we saw Eldon just putting the pressure on defense. There were no safeties in the end zone. They were playing one-on-one.
And the extra point attempt would have been good from the 30.
Yeah, I put that up before he even kicked.
I don't blame you. That kid, my goodness, that football landed somewhere around the Versailles area when he was done. So Southern Boone with big points that they needed in the worst way as we were closing in on the half as they cut the Mustang lead to 5. And, of course, Eldon will get the ball back to start the second half.
I think that the reason why they didn't have any safeties there or they didn't have numbers over the top of the receivers is because they were worried about what Colton said, where they might let the quarterback call his own number. They had 5 guys stacked in a box when there's an empty formation. Typically, you're lucky to get 3 in there, right? So,
and like I said earlier, I don't know that it gets mentioned of that Southern Boone has some beef on that line. If you look at the right guard and right tackle, those are some grown men out there playing high school football.
Well, and they're experienced too. I mean, several of them are seniors, and they have experience, they have size, and that's been one of the strengths for Southern Boone, not only on offense but on defense as well. You have Aiden McDaniel, you have Aiden Young, who are really kind of some of the pillars on that line, whether you're talking offense or defense for the Eagles.
I don't know that it gets valued enough, the skill on the line. If your footwork and handwork is not top tier on a line, it can make a huge difference when you're going up against a defensive front like the Mustangs. Ensuing kickoff, it's a high bouncing squib at the 40. Mustangs jump on it at the 41. That, to me, is an interesting decision.
Too. It gives Eldon a chance. I don't think they do anything here, but if they wanted to, they could take a shot,
I mean, do you just go 5 out and let Evan toss one deep, see if the speed game can work? I mean, I'm sure Southern Boone's going to put 2 safeties high on this. And
well, even without that, you could run 1 or 2 plays where you get a few yards and then throw it deep because you have 2 timeouts.
You do. I mean,
you have 1 timeout.
You could spread them out and even try to just let Evan keep it and run for a big chunk of it. And this could be interesting. And Eldon is going to at least line up like they're going to try something here. They'll go trips right. Receiver on the near side. Landon lined up. He's going to run pass protection. Evan, he's going to uncork one down the right side. He's got a man, and the catch is made at the 34-yard line. Was that Devin? That is Devin Hardy going up there to pull it in, and that will stop the clock as they move the chains.
They're going to take a timeout here as well, I would assume.
Well, and the hang time on that pass just took forever. It just seemed like it just hung in the air. And just a great play, great reception by Eldon.
Now you got to ask yourself, can Evan Beanland throw a ball 35 yards in the air?
I mean, he definitely can. I think he can if he's on the run. I don't think in the pocket he could. But if he got a running start into it, I think he could get it there.
Or do you even try that? Instead, do you just throw something out into the flat and let a receiver make a play?
We did see him run a screen pass a few weeks ago in this situation and see what happened. It ended up falling incomplete. But
listen, I say the same thing every time and nobody ever does it. Let's just go fumble Rooski. All right? It's that time. It's been too long. Was it no, it wasn't Big Ben. Who was it that ran the fake kneel to perfection a while back?
I don't remember who that was. It wasn't Big Ben.
That's
or
terrible.
the fake spike or the fake kneel.
Was it a fake spike?
Fake spike was Big Ben against the Cowboys.
Fake spike was Big Ben. Yeah. All right, Eldon going to drop 2 receivers on the near side, 2 to the high side. Beanland's got Landon to, I should say Evan has Landon to his right. Receiver comes in motion. Southern Boone gets pressure on the outside. He's going to uncork one, looking for his man. The catch is made at the 5 and stood up at the 5-yard line. I believe that's Beckman as time expires.
Wow.
And
is someone hurt here?
I don't know what's going on. The players still, they had to be.
They were just holding on to the ball.
Well, somehow I think the catch was made, and then at the end, the Southern Boone player took it away. But Jalen Beckman made the catch at the 5, just couldn't wrestle through 3 Eagles. So, I mean, if you're Southern Boone, though, you're happy. You did what you had to do. You got to stop. It doesn't matter if it's the 5 or the 50. But we played 1 half, and at the end of the H&R Block second quarter, Eldon leads Southern Boone 15-10. Your extended Hy-Vee halftime show is coming up. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
It's the final days to cut a deal. Your new John Deere compact tractor is waiting at Seidenstricker Nobe Partners. Get 0% financing for 84 months with 0 down, or get 0% financing for 60 months, plus save up to an additional $4,000 on select compact tractors. Hurry in to one of our locations or visit us online at snpartners.com. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 10/25/2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Kids ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/therightseat.
Contact one of Miller County Health Center's certified car seat techs for assistance at 573-369-2400. At Lloyd Belt Automotive, they've proudly been serving the Eldon community for 40 years. Their hand-selected inventory specializes in newer, low-mileage vehicles, each going through a rigorous 172-point inspection to ensure quality. And it doesn't stop there. Their full service department, staffed with factory-trained ASC-certified technicians, can keep your car running smoothly. For unbeatable sales and top-notch service, see the name Eldon has trusted for 4 decades. Lloyd Belt Automotive, where customers become family. Visit today or check them out online at lloydbelt.com.
Hi, I'm Jason Blankenship, owner of Jason Blankenship CPA LLC. As the year quickly draws to a close, it's time to start thinking about tax planning strategies for your farm and business. We are happy to meet with you and help you see where things stand for the year. We can also give you advice on ways to spend money to help you grow your business, all while maximizing your tax savings. No matter what your tax, payroll, or accounting needs are, Jason Blankenship CPA LLC has got you covered. Celebrating 10 years of service to the Central Missouri area and looking forward to many more, give us a call at 573-557-2417 or stop by and see us at 401 East North Street in Eldon.
And we are back with the Hy-Vee halftime show. An exciting half of football. That score is not right. I don't know what Ryan did to our halftime thing. Ryan has it listed as 30-0. Let me see if I can change that actually real quick. But I know that I can. So, Matt, in the first half, it was a back and forth affair. A lot of momentum shifts, it felt like.
Yeah, it was a great start for Eldon on offense. It was a slow start for Southern Boone. You know, for Eldon, we saw that touchdown first series on offense with Evan Beelan with that touchdown run kind of in the middle of the first quarter to make it 8-0. They got that 2-point conversion. And then we started to see things, the momentum shift over to Southern Boone. And they made that 29-yard field goal on their 4th series on offense. For Southern Boone, they began, on offense with a punt, turnover on downs, and then an interception by Eldon. Finally able to get some points on that 4th series on offense with that nearly 30-yard field goal by Jackson Woodward for Eldon and about the middle point of the second quarter. And so then we saw even more points towards the end of the first half. We saw that kind of a weird play for Eldon where it was a fumble towards the end of the end zone, and Eldon able to recover the ball in the end zone for a touchdown with just over a minute left in the first half. But for the Eagles, they were able to execute and move the ball on offense with a touchdown pass by the Eagles. Hudson Talley, extra point was good. And, we knew it was going to be kind of a a slow offensive game, but we've seen a lot of great defense, and it's been overall somewhat low scoring, especially when you compare to how many points and touchdowns were scored last year between these two teams.
But it doesn't necessarily shock me that it's been low scoring after seeing a half of play. Not only because, obviously I know what happens because they played the half, but looking at the play style, Eldon is not a let's put 50 on the board kind of team right now. They are a let's be slow and consistent. If we break a big play, that's awesome. And defensively, they're very much a we'll give you 3 yards, but we're not going to give you 4 kind of defense. So I don't know that I'm that shocked that it's low scoring, and I could make the case that I think this is exactly how Eldon wanted this game to go.
They've kind of changed from last year. The philosophy was like everything's a setup for that big play, right? And that's why they were able to score 49 points in the same game last year, is because it's like if they're running the football, they're eventually setting it up for that play action pass that's going to strike them for 60, 70 yards. This year, they're kind of more true to their play style. Like, hey, we want to run the football. We want to let our quarterback make some plays, but we're not going to go for that home run ball every single time. They really just want to, drain clock, score when they need to, and have those long drives that really put their demoralize the defense. Honestly, that's what they want to do.
Yeah, and coming into tonight's game for Southern Boone, they were averaging just over 23 points per game. For Eldon, they were averaging just over 25 points. So, different types of teams compared from last year to this year. And I think it's really going to come down to, defensive stops by both teams, too, and being able to take advantage of any turnovers, too, on offense.
I completely agree with both of you guys. I got to say, this is so nice. I had a game not all that long ago that I wound up working alone. And let me tell you, having 2 guys that can talk about football in the booth with me and having Britt on the camera out there making all sorts of friends in the crowd, it sounds like, is so nice. And I got to give a little love, by the way. I think he's watching right now. Back to JT, that has been watching home. This week, I have been an absolute nightmare for Paige and JT because the Big Bass Bash is going on tomorrow. If you're down there, by the way, you can see me. I got the digital truck there. Going to be shooting film, doing a whole lot of stuff. We've got the Apple Fest tomorrow. But, man, JT and Paige have picked up the extra slack for me and made things so nice. Matt, I mean, I know you worked in that kind of line of work for a long time. Having a good team around you makes everything a lot simpler.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so much, and especially, I mean, when you add the live video broadcast and, again, I mean, the production value that you guys are doing, it's incredible to see, and, embracing technology. And, of course, we're radio people trying to do video, and so it's great to see kind of embracing technology and people that can, for Eldon fans that can't make the trip to Ashland tonight, being able to watch and listen to the game is great. And so it's just even though I'm not in radio full time anymore, it's anytime you have a good group around you, it's makes things much easier.
This guy says, even though I'm not in radio anymore, anytime there's a bad storm and I wind up doing coverage, he knows more about what's going on than I do. And while I'm like live on the air, the last bad storm we had, I'm live on the air talking through like any tornado warnings and stuff. And my phone is just going crazy. And I look down and it's Matt sending me updates that I didn't even know about going on. And it's like, man, it's kind of like I have a producer I didn't even know about. It's so handy.
I guess you can leave radio, but radio never leaves you. And so and obviously you guys at the station, special place in my heart. It's growing up in Versailles, station I listened to, worked at for quite a while, and like I said, during pregame, I appreciate the opportunity to join you. I love my time, covering Eldon back in the. I sound old saying in the 2010s. When they had a lot of success. And so I've always enjoyed following Eldon. And, of course, now working here in Southern Boone, always get to keep a close eye on Eldon as well.
Well, and we're talking about this because we've got a little extended halftime going on. It's really been a lot of fun. JT and I have talked about quite a bit to see the advancement of KS95 Sports, because I don't think people always realize one of the cool things about localized radio is getting to cover this kind of stuff, because it's very important for a community. As a family member, a family friend, getting to listen to these kids go out there and play. And that's something that 20 years from now, I mean, Coach Isaiah Ryan of the Eldon Mustangs is a prime example. As he came up and told us, like, man, I remember being a little kid listening to these broadcasts, and then those games get broadcast. And now he's the coach of the Eldon Lady Mustangs basketball team, and they're being broadcast. It's a cool thing, and it's neat that I've got to hear some of the games from years and years past. And then we got to a point where we're adding video, and now we've got some other things in the works, and I got to add some of it. Now I get Ryan, who's sending me new overlays and graphics every week, and it's like, man, it makes me wonder, give us another 5 years, and I don't know what we're going to be doing. So You've kind of upped the game a little much here, Ryan. We've got big shoes for you.
I was going
now.
to say, yeah, there's probably it's not much, right? I think you figured out the website just as much as I have, but it's crazy to see the dynamic though in radio. Like now that radio stations are able to go just off of before it was the listening area could listen, right? And now it's anyone can get on an app or get on YouTube or Facebook, whatever, and watch from all across the country. And I always thought that was cool when I first got into broadcasting, just to find out how many people from different places we had listening. We'd always put out a poll and be like, hey, where are you from? And, you get people from 40 or 50 states, like, wow, you're telling me that I really have this many people from different areas listening. And I think that's the cool thing in the advancements.
Funny, you're talking about technology. I remember I was probably 2008, 2009. I was living in St. Louis going to radio school, and I really wanted to listen to a Versailles. I think it was a football game. And, the station wasn't live streaming at that point. And so I had worked at the radio station, knew JT, and I called the board up. I said, hey, I'm going to call in the radio station, put me on hold so I can listen to the radio station through the phone and not like live stream, like a phone call, listen to the game. And so it's great to see the advancements in technology. And again, what you guys are doing with MoSportsZone.com and, streaming these games on YouTube. Everybody has phones these days. And so for people that can't be here tonight, they can not only, listen, but they can also watch the action as well.
And to add to that, by the way, if you have not downloaded the MoSportsZone app, go to the App Store, whether it's an iPhone, Google phone, Android, whatever you got. Go to the App Store and download it. It makes life so much easier. I mean, we're in the booth literally clicking the app, using it to update scores from our other teams. And we even added something this week. The Big Bass Bash is going on at the Lake of the Ozarks. So we have added a tab for the Big Bass Bash. If you're going to be out fishing in the bash over the next couple of days and you want to keep up with the leaderboards, click it. We'll have that. We'll have a live stream from our sister station, Mix 92.7, as they'll be doing a live broadcast all day, updating the leaderboards. So just another example of being able to take the radio with you on the go at just a click of a button. Well, we're going to talk some college sports when we come back. This is the Hy-Vee halftime show, and an extended half as it is homecoming night here at Southern Boone. But at the half, Eldon leads Southern Boone 15-10. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Your home like a cheese, protect my homes. Keep it cool, safe, no need to roam. Stop the race before they invade your place. I can live in space, so sunny in the race. Be a champion, not a contender. With American sun control, you're the defender. Shield your home, make it bright and bold. American sun control, the story's sold. American sun control, the need to know for a cooler home. Come on, let's go.
What a game. It's 4th and goal. Winter Shelton drops back in shotgun. Here's the snap. Shelton bootlegs. He keeps it. He dives into the end zone. Touchdown! When it comes to winning and real estate, there's one team crushing the competition. Winter Shelton Real Estate Group.
Shelton is crushing it.
Look them up online and Facebook.
Winter Shelton's crushing it, yeah.
Sometimes less is more, but with the Case IH Farmall 75A tractor, more is more. You can push more, pull more, lift more. It just does more. And it's the most affordable Case IH Farmall with a cab. The Case IH 75A tractor. There's nothing like it that can do what it does. Your Case IH 75A tractor is waiting for you at Crown Power and Equipment with 11 Missouri locations. So stop in and find it. Passion, power, performance. crown-power.com.
And we're back with the Hy-Vee halftime show. Eldon leads Southern Boone 15-10. And Matt, I believe you said you had some scores from around the area for us?
Yeah, at halftime, Osage leading Hallsville 28-0. You can listen to that game on Cool 102.7. At last check in the second quarter, it was Rockbridge leading Camden 21-14. That game available on Mix 92.7. At halftime, Clinton leading Versailles 13-6. At halftime, Warsaw all over El Dorado Springs 40-0. And in the second quarter, Blair Oaks leading Blue Valley Southwest. I think that's a Kansas school, 24-14. So some of the scores, some of the other games going on around the area. Tipton is on the road at Fayette tonight. Booneville hosting California. Lynn at Russellville, and Colcamp hosting Butler.
Thank you very much, Matt. A reminder, next week we'll be on the road with the Tigers, who are locked in that battle with Clinton tonight, as we will head over to face the Windsor Greyhounds. And I know what you might be thinking, well, Colton Windsor's a Class 1 school. That's a Class 1 school to put a state title on the board just a couple of years ago. I mean this is a compliment. A lot of big corn-fed kids over there that can, their line is always rock solid. That ought to be a good one next week. We'll have as our KS95 game of the week. But we got a couple things to talk about. First off, tomorrow, Mizzou in action, early game. Tigers had a bye week. Now they return, and staring them in the eyes, number 24, Texas A&M, as the Tigers take the trip to, I don't know where that's at.
College Station.
But what college? What town is it?
College Station.
That's actually the town?
Yes,
I always thought that was the name of the field.
No, that's the town.
Wow.
Kyle Field, I think, is where they play at.
The house that Johnny Manziel built.
There you go.
College
That's a good way to put
Station. If Mizzou could get that win, that'd be huge for them. 2 ranked wins this early in the season.
Yeah, I think we talked about it before the game, right? If they're 8-0 going into Bryant-Denny Stadium playing Alabama, who just played a thriller last weekend against Georgia, right? That's a pretty big deal. I think next weekend they travel to the powerhouse UMass, right? It's pretty common for them to host Power 5 schools.
That's what they do, man.
So it'll be a pretty big game for them this week. I think they've got the upper hand. Texas A&M's quarterback that started the season, Connor Wegman, I don't think will play in that game.
Okay.
So that's a pretty big deal. But their backup's pretty good too. So.
My rule of thumb is very simple. If you're Mizzou, feed LB3. LB3 showed in that overtime win over Vandy. The first play of overtime, Mizzou's like, oh, we need a touchdown. LB3, why don't you run a little stutter out there and turn it into a go? And he just flew right by the corner. You forget how talented he is until he makes those kind of plays. I think it's about that. I truly believe that Mizzou has not opened the playbook yet. And I know you're thinking, Colton, they've had these close games. They're not going to hold back. But I do think there are certain – it's kind of like I heard Nick Wright talk about Travis Kelce for the Chiefs. And he's like, Travis isn't old. Or Travis isn't washed. He is old. He only has so many great big games left in his career. And he goes, the Chiefs have him in a glass box that says break in case of emergency. Yeah. And when Patrick Mahomes decided – I'm going to take out my number 1 wide receiver, they broke the glass and called upon 87.
Well, and, obviously with Kelce, aging a little bit still, a 70-80% Travis Kelce is better than no Kelce at all. And of course, he has to be respected on defense. He's getting double teamed, which is opening up other players on offense for the Chiefs.
They actually showed in the film breakdown the reason Travis went off, because they started double teaming Xavier Worthy of all people.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Well, I understand you got to commit safety help high because of the speed, and he showed what happens when you don't. But it's kind of like the Chiefs basically looked out there and said, are you really going to do this? My favorite was the average that popped up. They're like, Travis Kelce in his last 5 meetings against the Chargers averaged 131 yards per game. How, if you're the Chargers, do you see that stat and not double team him from the time he gets off the bus?
Yeah, I wish I could say that it's just like, oh, they've had success letting him eat and taking away other things, but they haven't had any success. I thought the stat was interesting. I was relieved to see it because although I might not be the biggest Chiefs fan, like seeing Patrick Mahomes. I know. Steelers.
What did he say?
Fan.
He's a Steelers guy.
I know. So either way, though, I'm a huge Mahomes guy, right? And seeing him,
but not a huge Chiefs fan.
I don't like the Chiefs though. Seeing him uncork the ball down the field is like one of my favorite things to do. When he first came into the league, he was throwing the 50, 60-yard touchdown passes. Like, that was my favorite thing. So to see the stat that was the first 50-yard or 50-plus yard touchdown pass since 2022, that made me smile a little bit. I was happy about that.
I'll throw a couple things at you. First off, your crazy stat, the Chiefs have not allowed a 30-point game since the Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm sorry, let me be specific. The Super Bowl against the Eagles. That's absurd. That defense.
Unbelievable.
And I heard one guy, I think it was Nick Wright, again, talking about Chris Jones. He goes, if you noticed against bad teams, Chris Jones doesn't get a lot of sacks. He takes those games off. He goes, I love Nick Bosa and guys like that. He's like, but Nick Bosa will go get 3 and 4 sacks in a game against a terrible team. Myles Garrett does it more than anybody. You don't see that out of Chris Jones. Instead, Chris Jones will go, oh, what's that? We took out our number 1. The offense is struggling. It's the Chargers. Let me go find Mr. Herbert and introduce myself. Oh, it's the Super Bowl. You need me to handle? Oh, it's Joe Burrow in the AFC title game. Let me ice this thing. Chris Jones is a big game player, and I know a lot of people were upset when, like, why did we pay Chris Jones that much? That's why. He single-handedly can wreck a game plan on your offensive line. Secondly, there's some murmurs going around, some rumors, some talk. Rashee Rice was not put on the season-ending injury reserve. He was put on a 4-week. And there is rumor that I've seen multiple reports of that Rashee Rice was in the locker room for the Chiefs yesterday with the players. The reason that stands out, Rashee Rice was not just in the locker room. Rashee Rice was not on crutches. He was walking in the locker room. He had on one of those like elastic knee things that you wear over it, but he was walking. They have not said torn ACL. They did an MRI, and I understand if there's lots of swelling and things like that. I'm not a doctor, but I feel like Kansas City knows a little something and at least has a theory that he could be back. So I said this on air this week, and I will give this stern warning one more time. To the National Football League, you have a minimum of a 4-week window, maybe larger. You have to beat the Chiefs a lot right now, because if you don't stack those losses and you let us get Kareem Hunt out, used to playing with us again, you let us bring back Isaiah Pacheco and then bring back Rashee Rice. And in the playoffs, they're saying we should have Hollywood Brown back. If you don't stack wins right now and let us get that back late in the season, you have no one to blame for a three-peat but yourself.
That's a good point. I would definitely agree. This is time to get them. But also, though, I mean, they could put them on whatever IR they want to, because the NFL has shown it doesn't matter how you disclose injuries, because I still have Christian McCaffrey sitting on my IR.
Oh,
and apparently both of his Achilles are messed up now. Like, it went from a calf injury to one Achilles to two Achilles.
You had to know it was coming. He was healthy all last season, which is an anomaly. So I think he has.
What was I supposed to take with the number one pick, man? They didn't disclose it.
Man, I would say Tyreek Hill, but that's not working out right now either.
They don't have a quarterback to throw to you. It makes it tough.
Oh, man.
I will say the whole, Rice injury thing, there are so many questions and not a lot of answers. And then, boy, I mean, the way that injury looked and the way how things were maybe portrayed or talked about, on Sunday, it made it seem like he was going to be out the rest of the season. And now it's kind of like, we're playing poker and we're not going to disclose, really, we're going to hold on to as much as we can.
They have that luxury because they got that 4-week window. And then if they need to place him on the season-ending IR, they can do that after the fact.
What I really love is that everyone thinks they know Brett Veach's move. I see all these shows, the Chiefs are going to go out and they're going to make a deal for Devontae. First off, Raiders are never going to trade with us. Let's get that straight.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing.
But throwing out all these names, no. What would Brett Veach most likely do if Rashee's going to be out for a while? He's going to go down to the practice squad, bring up Justin Ross, and we just re-sign Jody Fortson, because the Chiefs have this luxury. His name is Patrick Mahomes, and as long as he's your quarterback, he can do what he's always done. We used Juju Smith-Schuster to win a Super Bowl, and he got cut by the Patriots the next year. We had Marquez Valdez-Scantling as a number one in the AFC Championship game, putting up 100-plus yards and touchdowns, and he doesn't see the field for Buffalo. And then you turn around, McCole Hardman. We literally gave him to the Jets, the most embarrassing franchise in the National Football League, and they said, you can have him back, and we used him to win the Super Bowl. So I don't care if I'm running routes for Patrick Mahomes. Somehow that man will make it work. So I say you give Rashee all the time he needs. Rashee looks like he will be a bona fide number one wide receiver in this league for years to come. I think people can think they know how Brett Veach is going to move, but he plays chess while their GMs play checkers.
Give me more Kareem Hunt this week.
More
Kareem Hunt. He did good last night. I was impressed.
What do you think Arrowhead's going to sound like when he comes out on the field for that first carry and heaven forbid he scores?
Well, and Monday Night Football, no bigger stage.
Derek Carr back in Arrowhead. Oh, the Honey Badger will be back.
He will be. That is true.
You can't not like that guy.
I'm a big fan.
He is.
I really did like him.
Not to change the subject, but obviously Versailles guy, using my Versailles contacts to get some score updates to pass along in the third quarter with about less than 5 minutes left. It is Clinton leading Versailles 19-6. Another injury to pass along. Fletcher Bias out with an injury. Now freshman quarterback Jacob Vansel, quarterback for the Tigers. And so, I mean, we've talked about it in pregame, especially for Versailles. Seems like they have the injury bug, and it is just being passed throughout the team, and that's tough because especially depending on the numbers. I mean, any given injury is huge, a huge loss for any team, and it sounds like that's the case for Versailles.
This is a weird angle to take with this, but good for Jacob Vansel because he showed us a lot of things in the Jamboree. He's very athletic. He's got a good arm. And this is experience that you can't teach in practice. So, I mean, it doesn't really – I don't want to say it doesn't matter how tonight's game goes because it obviously does. But no matter what happens, you're getting that experience as a freshman that you wouldn't have got the same sitting on the bench watching the game.
And you get ice in your veins. You get comfortable. You get confident. And boy, I mean, for a freshman to get varsity experience, that's only going to help you down the road year after year.
I got another score update out of Tipton. They're playing Fayette in their second game in their new conference, the Central State 8. This one kind of hyped up to be what was probably going to be the conference championship game this year. These two teams were supposed to finish up top. Tipton up 26-0 at halftime. Lucas Cashman, their running back, he has 4 touchdowns in
hey,
the first half.
I got to show random love. Kirk Cousins, my man. Goodness gracious. If you don't have Prime, I don't blame you. If you boycotted Thursday Night Football because, the NFL wants to make all the money off you, I get it. But hear me out. Kirk Cousins dropped 500 yards on the Bucs last night.
On top of that.
Yeah, he walked in. He's like, it's Matt Ryan night. I'm about to break your record. And just aired it out. And then Kirk Cousins gave the greatest Kirk Cousins interview afterwards about
swag surfing.
Yeah, I like this whole song with the swag and the surfing thing in it. It's kind of fun. And I'm like, Kirk, you are that TV dad that everybody loves.
Yeah, he is.
Well, we have filled a long halftime here very well. I'm telling you, guys, this is so much better than being alone in a booth talking to yourself all halftime. It's weird because I start replying to myself, and it's just a whole thing. We're about ready to get the American Sun Control third quarter underway. The Mustangs lead by 5 over Southern Boone, and they will get the first possession. I want to see if Southern Boone actually boots this thing. We have seen an onside kick successfully. We've seen a little bit of a squib to give them a short field and have a chance at it, but I have a feeling they're just going to boom this one. And that is the case. What a leg on the kicker. It's going to be picked up at the 8. Returning it here across the 20-25, and what a hit at the 25. Great special teams play by Southern Boone. That was number 17.
Yeah, John Griggs, a junior linebacker, but special teams player for Southern Boone. Boy, that's just your old school, just wrap, tackle, and don't let go to bring him down.
I think in the first half, Eldon won 2 of the 3 fastest of the game. They won offensively, they won defensively. Special teams was dominated by Southern Boone, and that's what's kept them in this game so far.
I just realized my audio has been on this whole time giving us feedback. I mean, it's not going over the mics, but it's just like we can hear it if we listen. So the Mustangs, still not bad starting position as they'll start the strike. Well, they're 25, a little bit tough. But still 2 receivers split out to the right, and the shotgun is Evan. He's got Landon to his right, takes the snap. Evan going to keep it, following the guard. And Southern Boone, since the first quarter, has figured that play out and really shut down that lane.
It's tough when you're missing your starting running back. For what we still don't know why, but for whatever reason, you're missing your starting running back, and you get a guy that's more of a blocker in there, right? Usually, Eldon will go with those 2 running back sets and have Landon or Brisbane block for Beanland. This time, you can't really have them running the ball as much, so you give it to the quarterback, and the defense can key in on that.
Well, it makes you a little more one-dimensional. Yes. When you lose a player like that, you don't have as many options in the backfield.
Evan rolling out to his right, throws on the run. Great pass, crossed his body. Catch made at the 39-yard line. Martin Meadow first down as a beautiful throw ahead to Brisbane, who Brisbane's really seemed to be the favorite target of Beanland tonight.
They've moved Brisbane out of the backfield and put Landon Beanland in the backfield and had Brisbane run slot receiver tonight. It's worked well for him.
Honestly, we've seen Brisbane do some good things this season, but it's really nice to see him shining as a receiver here. And don't get me wrong, a lot of faces have made plays. We've seen Devin Hardy make some plays downfield. We've seen Jalen Beckman's name called. And now to see Brisbane, that's if you're looking at the postseason, I think that is the real wild card the Mustangs have. They do have a good receiving core. And if they want to try to throw the rock, they have the ability. Receiver comes in motion. It's going to be a handoff running left to right, trying to follow the guard. A little bit of a gain, but it's shut down pretty quick after about, a 4-yard jolt. Not bad for first down. We'll make it 2nd and 6. If you're Eldon, I feel like you don't hate that. If you can pick up 3-4 yards a carry and give yourself the potential to break something bigger, you're not really going to complain.
And that's what's dynamic about putting Brisbane in the slot position is now you can run him on motion, have him orbit around the backfield, and run triple option principles with 2 running backs, but he's running from the slot position. It makes it tough on defenses, right? You're putting him in binds.
By the way, the last update we got out of Versailles was 20-6, I believe. Clinton was leading, and it's going to be a handoff, and Southern Boone sniffed that one out before the play ever began. That's going to be a big loss back to the 39-yard line. That's going to make it 3rd and 10 for Eldon.
It was number 75. I don't know what his name is, but he made a big-time play in the backfield. That was weird. 2 Eldon linemen.
Aiden Young again.
Yeah, 2 Eldon linemen were all the way down the field, and that's usually a good sign, right? But not whenever the defense gets behind you.
So Eldon in an obvious passing down here on their own 39. They've got to get basically to midfield to convert this one. It'll be 2 receivers split out to the left. Brisbane comes in motion. Evan going to roll to his right, fires one, and it is picked off at the 45-yard line of the Mustangs. And that's where Southern Boone will start this drive. So The Eagles ended the first half with all the momentum, and now they have rallied to grab it to start the second.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't remember seeing Evan Beanland picked off this season.
No, he tried to throw it out on the out route, and the corner read that one perfectly and really had to stretch out and dive to finish the play. But
it's a great play, yeah.
It was. Trips right, 2 to the left. Shear in the shotgun, and he does that. And he'll give the hard count, see if the defense shows anything, and looks back at the coaching staff. I love it. I just realized on the Southern Boone sideline, they got 3 players in pennies helping get plays in. Looking to throw to the left. Shear, he's going to be forced out of the pocket. Mustangs trying to chase him, but he gets the sideline. He's got the first down and more ahead to the 30. And he will be pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. It was one of those who gets to the corner first in a foot race, and Shearer won that battle to move the chains.
Early on in the game tonight, we didn't see much running from Shearer, but towards the middle to late portions of the first half, we really start to see him kind of tuck the ball in and run with it.
And they really love this trips right package. They'll run the jet sweep to the right side. Quick stutter step at the 25 and drag down at the 23-yard line. That'll be a 7-yard scamper on first down, 8-yard gain.
Him being able to run the football from the quarterback position really has helped them get out on the edge when they hand off in situations like that, because the Eldon linebackers are having to wait up a little bit, because if he pulls the ball and takes it, he's dynamic enough to take it to the house.
And he's going to call his own number. It's a little option play as he follows by the right guard. He's at the 10, 5 going for the pylon. And he's got it. Touchdown Southern Boone. They get the interception and capitalize as they will take the lead 16-15. That's just all Shear right there.
And that was a 30-yard touchdown run by Shear. And again, on that series for Eldon, it really looked like they were just on their heels. They weren't sure what to expect. A great play calling by the Eagles on offense, but boy, just talking about momentum throughout this game, and it was the momentum shifted to Southern Boone to end the first half, and they've continued with that momentum to begin the second half.
That's what I was going to say. Was you were in a position, if you were Eldon, where you scored and were up 2 possessions going into the second half and getting the ball. Southern Boone does a good job putting a drive together, and I think they're going for 2 here, right?
They are indeed, as it would make it a 3-point game, and it's going to be a jet sweep. Well, not really a jet sweep, a counter play as the running back untouched trots into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. So Southern Boone comes out to start the second half, forces the turnover and capitalizes. They now lead Eldon 18-15. With 9:06 to go in the American Sun Control third quarter. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
No pressure, low prices.
Hi, this is Jason at Hewlett Chevrolet Buick GMC in Canaanton. I invite you to come see our incredible selection of pre-owned vehicles here on our lot, starting as low as $4,000, and combined with our friendly, no-pressure sales staff. Hewlett's also is proud to offer aggressive subprime rates and options if there is a need. Our prices and photos of all pre-owned inventory is always available to view at shophewlett.com.
Bulletin. Right now, get up to $11,000 off MSRP on select models of 2024 GMC Sierras. Must qualify. See staff for details.
Have you ever gone into panic mode because you reach into your wallet and your debit card is not there? Hi, this is Ryan Pryor from Citizens Bank of Eldon and Versailles. With the Umbrella app on your mobile phone, you can block your debit card with a quick tap of a button. 5 minutes later, you remember that it's in your pocket. No problem. Just go back in and unblock your card, and now it's business as usual. Ask us how you can enroll. Member FDIC.
A hometown bank, a hometown friend.
And on the kick return, Eldon trying to get to the sidelines. Brisbane, he probably ran 50 yards to pick up 15, but he's able to get that one at least out to the 25-yard line. I believe that's where they'll mark him, 26-yard line, somewhere in that ballpark. And that's where Eldon will start this drive.
That's something they've been setting up on the last 2 returns, sending everyone towards their sideline. That time they send everyone towards their sideline. He takes like 1 step that way and then cuts back towards the Southern Boone sideline. They were 1 block away from it being a big play. Really nice play by 22, who you've been shouting out all night to stop it.
Yeah, Tilly able to knock him out of bounds. It's going to be a handoff on first down, Landon, but waiting for him on the edge are 2 Southern Boone Eagles. Southern Boone has really made it a priority to lock down the line of scrimmage right now, and they are taking away any holes.
I think for Southern Boone, we're seeing things on defense and reasons why they're only allowing 12 points per game heading into tonight's matchup against Eldon. It was kind of slow to start, but we've seen some plays. But we've also seen Eldon on offense be able to move the ball against Southern Boone's defense.
Their most successes have been when they roll out their quarterback and let him throw the football. The run game just hasn't been there as much as it usually is tonight. I think that's a credit to Southern Boone.
Southern Boone stacking the box, sending a little pressure, and it was a quick route to the flat, and it goes off the receiver's hands. I don't think it would have mattered. Two defenders were waiting to make the tackle. Yeah. So I feel like Eldon looks a little rattled right now, a little rushed. Here's the thing. If I'm the Mustangs, I would almost consider trying to go a little farther downfield. The O-line has given Evans some time to throw. Southern Boone is really loading the box right now and keeping one safety high. I really think you can work 10, 15 yards up the field to the outside a little bit.
You just want to make sure not to turn the ball over like you did on the last possession, because I think on the last possession, had they gotten a punt off, right, their defense would have held up a little bit better. Giving them the ball in a 40, 50-yard line, they're going to score. For the other team, that is, Southern Boone.
3rd and 10 from the 25 for the Mustangs. Trips right. Evans steps back. They're trying to sell the screen, catching it at the 20 to the 25, but Southern Boone was not having it. And a late hit. As it was Brisbane trying to turn up, but the Southern Boone player basically continued the tackle out onto the track. And, that's going to give the Mustangs a free first down.
Well, for the Southern Boone's coaching staff, they're not a fan of that flag.
I can understand both sides of it, because there was not actually a tackle made. He basically just kept his hands on Brisbane all the way through. So the argument could be made if you're from Southern Boone, well, it was momentum. He was just keeping himself upright. And if you're from Eldon, you're saying, oh, no, he was continuing that action all the way out of bounds. But
well, there was some pushing or holding, as they were exiting out of the sidelines. And, like you said, no tackle, but there was some momentum, but there was also some.
I think that's been brewing for a few plays, because there have been late hits on the first two plays there, and I think they finally just decided, hey, we're going to throw this one.
It'll advance the ball to the 43-yard line on first down. Evan, he fakes the handoff, jumps over one man, and gets rolled back. I mean, there is very little running room right now, and a late flag comes out. This is going to be another 15 against Southern Boone. I don't know what was said in that huddle, but the white hat doesn't like it when that flag goes 30 yards in the air.
Yeah.
So Eldon, they picked up 30 yards the last two plays, and it has nothing to do with their offense.
Well, this is where the Mustangs, they need to take advantage of those free 30 yards that they've been able to get thanks to Southern Boone's, I will say, mental mistakes.
Yeah, the coaching staff on Southern Boone, not very happy right now, who would be in that situation. But for the Mustangs, as I said earlier in the game, it's only a gift if you take advantage of it, as this will place the ball on the 41-yard line of the Eagles.
Yeah, it's almost mandatory to get points now, right? Because anytime something doesn't go your way officiating-wise, and then you right the wrong, right, it's extra momentum that they already have a ton on the Southern Boone side.
Eldon looking to throw. Evan. He steps up, no one open. He's feeling the pressure, running back, and it's a sack, a big one, and a late flag comes out. Lots of flags on the field. I'm going to assume the one's a face mask based on the positioning of it, but the second flag came out of the secondary, unless the official saw something from far. But there's 3 flags on the ground.
I'm not sure I saw the face mask there, to be honest with you.
I mean, there was 3 different Southern Boone players there to make the sack, and if there was, it was maybe obstructed our view just because of the number of players on defense that made the sack.
And that is the call. Those flags all were for a face mask. So I will say it must have occurred if all 3 officials throw the flag.
Yeah, when like you said, when there's that many flags on one infraction, you have to be pretty safe that that probably was the case.
Let's just call this what it is. Right now, if you're Eldon, if you're the coach, you're saying don't do anything wrong at the moment. We've gotten 45 yards off of 3 straight penalties.
45 yards, that was almost like a 30-yard penalty right there.
It was.
Eldon
with
lost
the sack.
like 15 yards on that play.
Eldon up to the 25 now. It's going to be a handoff. Landed a hand on the blocker, fighting forward, and he's able to pick up some positive yardage. He'll pick up about 4. That's honestly the best play the Mustangs have had on this series that didn't involve a yellow handkerchief.
Well, if you're Southern Boone, you just got to be able to control what you can control, right? You can't control what the refs call, whether you like the call, whether you did what they say. You got to keep playing football. Sometimes you can get pushed around a little bit after something like that happens.
Absolutely.
The defensive front kind of did get pushed around.
If you're Eldon, you got to think they're a little leery right now because they've got these penalties. This is where, as an offense, you can punch them in the mouth a little bit. Eldon sends a man in motion. They're going to hand it off to Landon again. He gets stuffed, though, at the line. I'm telling you, Southern Boone has made it very clear we don't want you to run the ball anymore.
Yeah, it seems like that was an inspired halftime speech.
Well, I think if you're Southern Boone, you have to play smart defense. I mean, those have been some big flags for against the Eagles defense. And I mean, we've seen Eldon now be able to move the ball a little more now as well.
Ryan hit the nail right on the head. This is huge for both teams because if you're Southern Boone, if you get a stop here, all the energy goes right back into you. If you're the Mustangs, you can make something out of this. Receiver comes in motion to the right side. Evan back to throw. Thinks about uncorking one. He will uncork one to the middle. Receiver hit as he makes the catch, but they're going to say it was a clean play. Ball goes off his hands, falls incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 8.
I was wondering if we were going to see pass interference there, but I think even if there was pass interference, these officials got to make it out alive somehow.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Sorry, maybe I should have just spoke, using hand motions and all that.
I think that's what you were saying.
There we go. Yeah.
So it's a big 4th down for both of these squads. Ball on the 25-yard line, or 35-yard, 25, I was right, of Southern Boone. 2 receivers, 2 each side for the Mustangs. 3rd and 8. Receiver comes in motion. That is Beckman. Evan takes the snap, drops back. He's going to throw in middle of the field, and it's picked off by the Eagles. On the return across the 30. Blockers out front. Mustangs trying to gather around him, but he's got to lane up the sideline. Nobody is going to catch him. Oh, well, I say that, a rundown, but it's going to be a little too late. I believe that was about a 90-yard pick 6 by the Southern Boone secondary after it looked like Eldon was knocking on the door, ready to score.
Back-to-back interceptions for Eldon to begin the second half. Wow. And again, we talked about 45 yards given as a gift. I don't want to say as a gift, but, to Eldon on offense.
It's not going to be a touchdown. Something's coming back.
Oh, yeah? I never saw a flag go.
I could be wrong. I'm almost 100% sure they called an inverted whistle.
The coach went out there and said something to the ref.
Wow.
And that ball is being placed on the 40. Does that take the 6 off the board?
Yeah, it does. They definitely I can't.
Oh, it was holding on the return.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Ooh.
So the interception will stand, but the touchdown will not. So Southern Boone will take over possession up by 2 at their own 30. So as weird as this sounds, Eldon got a break.
Yeah.
You basically just turned the ball over on downs for everything's sake.
They went back to that well a few too many times. They've been trying to run that slant or a post that's almost a quick slant with the wheel and the flat, and they've ran it a lot on big plays, and that time the safety read it perfectly.
Southern Boone in their absolute favorite formation tonight. Trips right with 2 receivers out to the left.
It's as if Dan Campbell was a high school coach, man. Spread it out every play.
Passing it out to the flat. It's going to be caught at the 30, shaking to middle 35, 40 up the sidelines to the 50, to the 45, down to the 40 of the Mustangs. My goodness, big run after the catch for Southern Boone. I don't know where this squad came from at the half, but they have really shifted gears and are showing something.
Well, that was Hudson Talley again for Southern Boone. You've called his name a lot. He's turning into a huge weapon and a big playmaker on offense for the Eagles.
And to go on top of that, number 5, I don't know who he is. He did a really good job not leveling someone and getting a block in the back.
And now Shear going to call his own number, goes across the 30, down to the 25. Wrong team to be saying this for, but right now Southern Boone is stacking Martin Metal first downs. About 1 a play, it seems like. I mean, I'm just shocked right now. Eldon had this Southern Boone offense basically hemmed in for the majority of the first half, other than a couple big plays. Second half, this looks like a Southern Boone squad that is absolutely a juggernaut.
Well, I imagine the Eldon coaching staff has to be very frustrated with how the second half has begun for the Mustangs.
2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right for Shear. He does the hard count. The Mustangs have kind of figured, hey, let's not jump on that. They're just trying to see something there. Eldon, I mean, they're playing a good 10 yards off the ball right now. The corner, Shear, he's going to try to take it up the gut, runs through some contact, but not before picking up 5 or 6, and they're going to wrestle him down at the 21-yard line. That will be about a 6-yard gain on first down.
Really wearing down this Eldon defense. And I don't even think it's that Eldon's necessarily tired. I think that they just got punched in the mouth and, haven't recovered. I mean, this stadium is loud, so on top of that, you've got that. Like, It's just tough to recover.
I mean, this is kind of what makes football beautiful, if we're being honest. You think back to Southern Boone's last drive of the half when they had to go get points. How different could this game have been if Eldon had got a stop there? Instead, Southern Boone has fully taken control, and now the Mustangs trying to come up with a stop of their own. As Southern Boone going with 2 to the right, 1 to the left. They're going to pitch it out to the back, running to the right side. He's got blockers out front as he breaks a tackle at the 10 and trots into the end zone. Touchdown, Southern Boone. So the pick 6 didn't stand, but that one will, as Southern Boone will now make this a 2-possession game.
That's the first time they've shown that. Let the running back get out in space. A really good job blocking on the edge. We said earlier that Eldon hadn't really had problems tackling on the outside, but when you got speed and power like that, definitely plays.
Yeah, that was Travers Holnont, 26-yard touchdown run for the Eagles. We've called his name. And see, it's kind of, we're seeing for the Eagles, offense by committee. I mean, we're calling a number of players on offense.
It's now 22 unanswered points for Southern Boone.
That is huge. So 25-15, Southern Boone leads Eldon. We'll see if the Mustangs have an answer when we come back. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
The Morgan County Health Center in Versailles reminds you can help your child have a healthy future. Encourage them to get 1 hour or more of physical activity every day and limit screen time to 2 hours at most. Time spent in front of a screen watching TV or playing video games means less time being active. Make sure they get 3 servings of low or no-fat milk or yogurt every day, 4 servings of water, not sugary drinks, and 5 servings or more of fruit and vegetables. Healthy habits lead to a healthy future. A message from the Morgan County Health Center in Versailles.
A full-service graphics company, Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising does it all, from screen printing, offset printing, and promotional advertising to custom-built trophies and awards. It's where they do it the right way. Check out their Facebook page for their monthly special, and don't forget they offer online stores for all your group and activities needs. Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising, across from the Family Center on Highway 52 East in Versailles. Call 573-378-5775.
On the ensuing kickoff, big leg going to be returned from the 10 for the Mustangs, ahead to the 20, taking on a tackler at the 25, and give Southern Boone their credit. They don't miss tackles often.
Especially not on special teams. A lot of times for teams, special teams are a chance to just kind of give your starters a break and throw some random guys out there. But whether these are their starters or not, they're up to the task. They're really excited to get out there and make some plays, and they've done a good job tonight.
Well, this is where Eldon on offense and really just in general needs a regroup. This has not been the way you've wanted to start the first half with 2 series on offense and interceptions back to back. You want to play smart football again. Down 10 points, not out of this by any means, but, we've just seen them struggle on offense here in the third quarter.
We saw this last week with Hallsville, too. Like, Southern Boone's not a team that's going to get in a heavy formation and run the ball to run the clock out. They still need to throw the ball. So you're still in it if you score here or score, just got to have a big drive.
Jet sweep, on first down from the Mustangs, and a lot of room there, but the receiver got his legs tangled. Devin Hardy had space, and
it could have been a big play, and now he's hobbling.
Yeah, I think he may have just tweaked his ankle a little bit as he was trying to turn the corner, but still a nice little 5-yard pickup there on first down. Well, 4-yard pickup. And a different look, at least. I mean, show the outside like that, give Southern Boone something else to think of.
You're already shorthanded, though. You really hope that Hardy's tough again. Should be good.
By the way, since we're just hitting all the radio personnel tonight, shout out to our old friend Mark. Used to work at the station as well. Now over at Martin Metal. Listening, and tonight they tried to run the jet sweep the other way, and Southern Boone was looking for it. Eldon went back to the well one time too many. That's going to be a big loss. 6 yards dropped on the play, and going to make it about 3rd and 11.
Well, and how many times have we seen Eldon on defense in Eldon's backfield? And again, not just one player, but 2 or 3. And we've seen some success from Eldon. Again, we've talked about going into tonight's game, the Eagles' defense, and just another good example there.
I really think Eldon's going to have to throw this rock. Mm-hmm. I mean, not only on this down, but I think going forward, and a timeout's going to be called on the
injury, and I think Devin Hardy's finally going to have to.
Hate to see that. It'll be a Lloyd Belt Automotive timeout, and if you're Eldon, you're going to have to find something else that works, because what hit early in the game was not. And I understand, your number one running back's out. You've been a run-first team, but there have been games throughout the year that they've really thrown the ball. When they played School of the Osage, yes, it was in a losing effort. They aired it out 350 passing yards in that one. That's not a fluke. Obviously, you can throw it a little if you can amass 350 passing yards.
Go ahead.
And as you know, we've seen Eldon have success throwing the ball on offense. It's not like tonight has been a complete 100% ground game. They've had success throwing it in the air. Feel like they've just gotten away from it, or maybe the Eagles have done some things on defense to make it a little harder too.
Speaking of throwing the football, they're playing Kirk Cousins songs right now. They're playing swag surfing.
Oh,
so
I didn't realize that.
Maybe Evan Beanland can do his best Kirk Cousins impersonation here.
Only if he has the same chain that Kirk Cousins wears.
I don't know that anyone has a chain that looks
that guy
like that.
is just it's hard not to love Kirk Cousins.
They certainly can throw the football, but I think Southern Boone's done a really good job of containing that flood concept, which is where Eldon has had the most success, is throwing to the sidelines.
And give love to this coaching staff of Southern Boone as they've made some great adaptations. Out of the shotgun, play going to be whistled dead. Do we get a false start? Yeah. That's tough. So the Mustangs were already facing a 3rd and long, and it just got longer. It's going to be about 3rd and 16. But what I was going to say is the Southern Boone coaching staff made some major changes late in the half. And I think that's the unsung part of football as well. Everybody thinks it's just whose athletes are better. No, what changes can you make? That's something I really, truly love about Steve Spagnuolo. I don't think his great defense is what you see in the first half. I think it's the second half when he starts disguising blitzes from places that you wouldn't even think of, and you don't have time to adjust. That's where he shines. And I feel like Southern Boone has made some late changes in this game that have given the Mustang fits. Trips left. Receiver comes in motion. Beanland steps back. He's going to throw one out into the flat. It's a low pass. Going to be caught. Southern Boone closes and swarms. It's going to lose yardage. I mean, that was a play behind the line of scrimmage, and Southern Boone was not fooled by it.
Well, not only were there adjustments made at halftime for Southern Boone, but we saw adjustments on defense made in the first half as well. Yeah. Because, I mean, early on in the game, Eldon had success not only running the ball, but passing the ball on offense. But whatever adjustments Southern Boone made, it worked for them.
And I think that it was never an effort issue for Southern Boone, but whenever you're more confident in what your assignment is and that it's going to work, you obviously play a little bit faster, and they've played faster here since they came out of the halftime break.
So on 4th and 17, the Mustangs going to have to punt, and a good job by Evan just to get the punt away. It's going to be fielded at the 45 and immediately brought down at the 44-yard line. So a good job by the special teams unit of the Mustangs, but now it's gut check time if you're Eldon. If you allow Southern Boone to put another touchdown on the board this late in the game, you're looking at a pretty steep hill to climb out of. So Southern Boone will get set. And mind you, as we talked about earlier in the game, this game carries major district implications, as right now Southern Boone setting in the 4 spot where they would host a playoff game, Eldon in the 5. Trips right, 2 to the left, as we have seen out of Southern Boone basically this entire second half. And why not? It's worked for them. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Shear comes set, takes snap. Uncorks one to the left. It's caught at the 41. Racing ahead to about the 35. He'll be pushed out of bounds, 35-yard line. 9-yard gain on first down. The corners for Eldon are giving a lot of cushion to these Southern Boone receivers.
I think it's interesting, too, because it's not like they've been beat deep, right? I mean, every deep pass attempt hasn't really been successful.
Yeah.
Now, there have been times where they were beat and the pass wasn't completed, but
I'm not saying you got to go full press coverage, but I would at least crowd the line a little. And they're going Southern Boone going to stack the 3 on the right side, and because of that, the corners for Eldon are going to tighten up a little bit, expecting maybe a little bubble screen. But at the 35-yard line, Shear in the shotgun takes the snap, high snap. He's going to keep it, runs up the gut, and he's going to be brought down after a very short gain, maybe 2 yards on that one. A better job by the D-line of Eldon.
If it wasn't a second or third and short situation, you're probably pretty happy with that result as Eldon's defense. But since it gave Southern Boone a first down, obviously wanted to get him sooner. But if you can have a few more good reps, stack them together, that's how you're going to get back into this game.
And that will move the chains for Southern Boone. So the Eagles continuing to methodically move this ball. I say methodically. I mean, they've had a lot of 8 and 9 yard chunks. Right. Snap, and it's going to be Shear keeping it, runs up the gut, sheds one tackle, crosses the 25, down to the 24. So once again, another 9-yard run. I mean, Southern Boone figured something out.
Well, and it seems like for Eldon on defense, they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
We've just seen so many different players on offense for the Eagles, and so many different, really not different formations, just different plays in the same formation and going different ways. And when you have Shear that can run the ball, you're spreading the field. There's just a lot of things that the Eagles can do when they spread the ball.
And I guess the game clock and play clock must be close enough that Southern Boone can just let this one go to end the quarter. So we've played 3. Southern Boone leads Eldon 25-15 with the ball, threatening to score. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
For over 35 years now, Martin Metal has continued to be the leader in the metal building industry. We would like to introduce to you our new low-profile bib panel metal. This roll-form metal will give you a new sleek look, different from the regular G-profile metal. You can see it on our website at martinmetal.com or up close in our showroom on Highway K northeast of Versailles. People are falling in love with it, and it's priced the same as the G-rib metal. Give us a call today at 573-378-4050 and find out more about the area's only M-panel low-profile metal here at Martin Metal.
Calling all property owners. Discover the benefits of partnering with Dunn Property Management. They're here to help. From maximizing your investment to ensuring hassle-free management, experience effortless living with expert property management. Let Dunn Property Management handle the details so you can enjoy peace of mind. Reach out today to learn how they can help. Dunn Property Management, 573-569-1200. That's 573-569-1200.
And we are back getting ready for the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter of action. This Eldon defense needs a stop, and they need it in a big, big way, as Southern Boone, who already leads by 10, is threatening to add to that as they've moved the ball all the way down to the 24-yard line of the Mustangs.
Well, and I think it's important to know, not to write off Eldon in this game. You're only down 10. We just haven't seen much.
Whoa, yeah, tight formation for the first time tonight for Southern Boone. They're going to keep it on the ground, and they'll pick up enough for the first down as they run that into the red zone. We haven't seen that all night.
I love that. I've always thought if I was an offensive coordinator, if I somehow become that one day, I will have the ability to run 5 wide, and I will have the ability to run under center with 3 running backs, and there will be no in between. And I might have just fallen in love with this Southern Boone coach. I'm not going to lie.
That's a Shannon Jolly formation, in Osage now, awesome. Of course, saw a lot of that formation when Coach Jolly was with Eldon.
Boy, they are going to stick with it as they've got 3 backs behind Shear. They're going to give it to him, but not a big gain here this time. Well, I say that it's still a 4-yard chunk. That is, if anybody knows about this should be Eldon. This is a la Eldon, basically the last 20 years of football for the Mustangs, and
it's crazy. I was just about to say that we were kind of watching the new age, like 3 yards in a cloud of dust mindset, right? Like the way that Southern Boone runs the football and throws the football, like they're just going to get 5 yards and it's not going to be a cloud of dust. It's going to be wide open. But now we're truly getting 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Like they just want to get 3, 3, 3 and shove it down your throat to end this game.
Well, and here in the second half, Eldon has struggled slowing down Southern Boone on offense when it comes to running the ball. So if if Southern Boone has that, hey, why not just stack the box and just pound it?
And that is, they've got all the beef on the line right now. Quarterback going to roll out. Shear throws off his back foot in the end zone. Just missed a man. I mean, overthrew him by a foot or 2 max. But that play calling from Southern Boone was pretty ingenious right there.
And now they're back out to the 5 wide. I mean, it's almost like they had these 3 plays. Like they knew one drive they were going to do that and try to catch Eldon off guard. And then once they keyed in on the run, all right, we're going to throw the play action pass. And maybe, I don't know if this is something they've done a lot this year, but it's a really good game plan if it was just one drive.
I think it's good to see just the versatility in offense and not just spread the field in shotgun, and just to show opponents, again, thinking down the road district play, hey, you're going to have to prepare for this.
Opponents, I mean, these two very well could see each other in the opening round of districts. In the shotgun on 3rd and 6, Shear, he has got all the Mustangs pressuring him. He is going to be sacked back at the 30-yard line. Eldon sent heat, and it got home.
We don't typically get to say this on our high school broadcast, but that sack is costly because they were in field goal range, and they're not now. And typically a high school quarterback doesn't have to worry about that. But if he just throws that ball away, they get 3 points on this drive. Instead, going to be 4th and 20.
Well, and not only is that sack a big play for Eldon on defense, just a big play for the team in general.
Right,
because
they needed something.
You needed something like that to kind of a positive play, and that's exactly what Eldon was able to do. Now, can they capitalize and can they build on it? That's the big question.
Well, Lloyd Belt Automotive timeout going to be taken by Southern Boone as they're going to want to talk this over. It's going to be 4th and a country mile. More specifically, let's see, they got to get to the 9, so it's going to be 4th and about 20 when on this next play. For Eldon, this is big. If you can stop them here, go down and score, suddenly you've got enough time. It's a one-possession game. Anything's possible, but it all starts with this. I mean, we know Southern Boone does have big play capability in them, as they have shown us, especially in the second quarter and this second half. But, I mean, if you're Eldon, do you go preventative? Do you keep 2 safeties high? What are you thinking here, Ryan?
I mean, honestly, I'm probably doing a picket fence coverage, but rather than having it at the first down marker like you typically would, I'd probably have it back towards the original start of the chains right there, right? That first chain, kind of have a layer of defense. Then maybe you have your safeties back a little bit farther, maybe 15 yards off the ball, and just saying, let them go underneath. We just have to rally tackle. Eldon is typically a good gang tackling team. So I don't think they should have any problems. Just don't let anyone get behind you.
We might want to watch Southern Boone's quarterback Shear. I don't know if he was hobbling, but we might have to see how mobile he is here on this play.
And still a bunch formation. Now they're going to spread it out at the last moment, keep Eldon's defense. And the refs say, here's the problem. The refs
they're calling that on Eldon.
Really?
Yeah, someone jumped. And so this is where it's interesting. And I saw this on Twitter, a coach going nuts because Missouri high school officials have been saying that is simulating a snap count. It's not simulating a snap count. They're just bursting out in a formation.
Yeah.
And they catch the defense napping. I don't even know if that's what they were trying to do, was catch the defense napping. I think they were just trying to catch them formed. But it worked in their favor. Now it's much more manageable.
Still tough. 4th and 15. From the 25, they're going to do the same thing. Bunch to burst, 2 receivers to the right, trips to the left.
You got 3 on 3 down here.
Empty backfield. Shear, he's going to throw it back. It's a trick play. Uncorking one for the back corner of the end zone was the wideout by himself. The catch is made. Touchdown Eagles. They saw the opportunity. They went trick play, stacked them down low. I mean, that's creative coaching.
You tip your cap there. Not too often you're going to see a trick play when you're already up 10 points in your red zone.
Shear is hobbling off to the sideline, so that is one thing to note for Southern Boone's quarterback is he might not be as mobile during the rest of this game.
That hurts if you're Eldon because you thought they were going screen pass. The secondary sold out to go make the stop, and by the time they realized that the receiver was throwing, it was 6 in the end zone. The extra point attempt is up, and good. So Southern Boone extends their lead to 32-15 with just under 10 minutes to go here in the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter. We'll come back with more. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
The students of Lake Area schools have done a lot to make their communities proud. Many have stayed to help the Lake Area grow and prosper. Whether they excel through sports or through academics, our students need our support. As a parent, be a part of your child's education. As a community, be a part of their activities by attending sporting events, concerts, and other extracurricular activities. Our support means better leaders for tomorrow. From Kidwell Garber Funeral Homes of Versailles and Laurie.
Holly Lift Boat Lifts. You've got your home at the lake and you found the perfect boat. Now, to just make sure the boat bottom stays clean and up out of the water. Holly Lift Boat Lifts. We've been the lake's choice for reliable boat lifts for over 40 years, and we offer a lifetime warranty on our tanks. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Holly Lifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Holly Lifts.
And we're back here at Southern Boone. They just capped off a long touchdown drive that ended in a trick play for a touchdown. Colton stepped out here for a second. We're about to get underway with the kickoff. Ball is kicked down towards the sideline. It'll be picked up by Eldon, running right sideline past the 20. He wants to go back left now. He's got some blockers, caught down in the middle of the field, about the 27-yard line, which is where Eldon will start, down 17.
Yeah, for Southern Boone, that last play on offense, that was a wide receiver pass from Jace Wren 20-yard touchdown reception by Southern Boone's Price Bonnet with the touchdown reception, and that extra point was good. And boy, we've seen Southern Boone, on offense and defense roll the dice, and even on special teams with that onside kick with some pretty gutsy and creative play calling.
Yeah, you got to give credit to them. I mean, they're not playing afraid, right? I think Mike Tomlin, which I'm a Steelers fan, we talk about a lot. He says scared money don't make money, and he has not been scared. Eldon, 3 receivers stacked to the top of the screen. They'll draw back to pass with Beanland. Beanland now sensing the pressure, stepping up, running right side, but he is swallowed up by the defense of Southern Boone. And I think maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage on that one.
I feel like there's just frustration setting in for Eldon. I mean, boy, Southern Boone's defense really stepping up, especially here in the second half. And Eldon on offense just struggling. I mean, they're having issues running the ball. Haven't seen much of a pass game here in the second half either.
Beanland back to pass again, saw something on the left side, rolling out, just trying to play playground football, and he is swallowed up again. That time it's number 55. He'll flex to the Southern Boone sideline. And this frustration, as they're sacked all the way back down to the 16-yard line, it's been boiling for the past few weeks for Eldon. This isn't new frustrations. Started out 3-0, now looking at 3-3 in the mouth here. Going to have to get things right.
Well, and you go back to that series on offense for Eldon when they had those 3 big penalties, got them 45 free yards, and were not able to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Dropping back to pass again here, wants to throw left side, and I think someone was supposed to zig, and they chose to zag as that one falls incomplete, and it's going to be a punting situation for Eldon now, 4th, and I think almost 20 yards from their own 16-yard line.
At last check in the third quarter, it was Clinton leading Versailles 20-6. We'll look for an update for that. At last check at halftime, it was Osage leading Hallsville 28-0. Rockbridge leading Camdenton 21-14, and it was Tipton leading Fayette 26-0.
I think we'll definitely see a punt here out of Eldon. I mean, you're backed up on your own 16-yard line, 4th and 20 situation. They're going to drop back and pass. Yeah. Oh, Colton.
He's going to uncork one, middle of the field. Got a man in midfield. Ball comes loose after the hit. Picked up. Oh, they're going to call it incomplete.
Yeah. Definitely incomplete. You had a man there.
That was just a bang play. Now it looks like we have an Eldon, 2 injured players, 1 for each team, and there was a lot of. There was a big hit there between those 2 players, and something you like to see. But boy, that had an opportunity to be a big play for Eldon.
It really did. So a rattled player on the Mustangs, and like you said, it doesn't matter any situation or who it is. Hate to see anybody hurt. So it is also going to be a turnover on downs, but this is what's more important right now. We'll take the break while they tend to the injured player. We'll come back. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Veracruz Mexican Restaurant invites you to join them for a casual lunch or a nice family dinner out with delicious, authentic Mexican cuisine. Veracruz has a great selection of burritos, tacos, seafood, enchiladas, salads, and more, all prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Grab dinner tonight from one of their 3 locations: Veracruz on South Highway 5 in Versailles, Veracruz Jr. on Highway 52 in Stover, or on Highway 65 in Lincoln. Veracruz Mexican Restaurant, a proud sponsor of local athletes.
PenMax Staffing has immediate job openings with long-term potential. They have excellent opportunities in Eldon, Versailles, Jefferson City, California, and the entire Lake area. Apply online at penmac.com or call 573-392-8383 to set up an appointment for an interview. That's PENMAC.com or 573-392-8383 to apply. PenMac provides free help finding a job. Apply today and go to work right away. Your one application will help you find multiple possibilities.
Both injured players helped off the field, but managed to get to their sidelines. Good to see them upright and doing okay. However, that will be a turnover on down. Southern Boone will take over on their own, on the Mustang 16-yard line. In the shotgun, 2 receivers split out to the right. Going to be a pitch out to the running back on the right side, trying to follow his blockers, but Eldon able to chase him down after about a 3-yard gain. Make the tackle on the outside.
Probably going to see a lot from Southern Boone. Runs to the outside, pitches, rollout passes, anything that can keep this clock moving, extend the time. Usually you see it with about 4 minutes left in the game, but when you're up by 17 with 8 minutes, you're going to see similar things. Go down in bounds. Don't try to extend plays to get hurt, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think if you're Southern Boone, you feel comfortable. You feel like you have enough points to win this game, especially with the struggles we've seen Eldon on offense. Not able to get much, but boy, they had success in the first half.
And trying to run the ball right up the gut was denied by the Mustangs.
Great job plugging up that hole at the middle, and it's going to force 3rd and 6, maybe 3rd and 7. It's looking like Southern Boone going to get the win here. But I will say, if you're Eldon, you know there's a chance you're going to see these guys in districts. I think with both of these teams can walk away saying, hey, we have things we need to work on before we face them again, but we do think we can match up with them again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, Eldon or Southern Boone just smacked Eldon in the mouth after going down 15-3 and then scoring 29 unanswered points. Like, Eldon just really never recovered there from some of those things in the second half.
Pitch out to the left, trying to get to the sideline, but could not get there. Dragged down at the 10-yard line. That's going to make it 4th and 4 for Southern Boone, and we'll see. I mean, they've got a field goal kicker with quite a leg, but you're not wrong. Looking at Shear, he is definitely moving a little gingerly out there.
And it was after that sack by Eldon on defense. Whatever happened there, he hopped up, and he has not been the same. And so, we've seen him have a lot of success with his feet running the ball in that quarterback position for Eldon for the Eagles on offense.
Well, they're going to go for it on this 4th and 4. Trips right, Shear in the shotgun. He's got a halfback to his left, one receiver on the near side. Moves the halfback over to his right side, takes the snap. He's going to roll out to his right. Got a man right at the first down mark, just shy of it, but Eldon lights him up on the catch, and the ball falls incomplete. And it'll be a turnover on downs. I'm going to be honest. I think if Shear had thrown it there a little sooner, they probably moved the chains.
Yeah, but he's beat up for sure. That is not the same rollout we've seen tonight at all. I mean, that was definitely,
And honestly, I'm surprised he's rolling out, too.
Me too.
And even maybe passing the ball, too. I mean, I feel like you have enough points, just keep running the ball. And, I mean, if you're Southern Boone, when do you make that call to take him out just to save him and prevent any other injuries?
I was just thinking that because things don't get easier. I mean, it's Tri-County schedule. You're going to have tough games next week, the week after, and the week after. So I do wonder what Southern Boone does going forward these next couple possessions.
I'm probably pulling the plug on him here.
Quick pass is going to fall incomplete for Eldon. I do think some of it depends. If Eldon were to break off a big play right now and go put 7 on the board and make it a 10-point game, all right, maybe you think about keeping him out there. But if a stop is made, then I don't know. But nonetheless, incomplete pass. It'll make it 2nd and 10 for Eldon from their own 10-yard line. Trips left for the Mustangs. One receiver to the right. Landon lined up next to Evan to his right. Evan drops back. He's under pressure. He'll roll out to his right. He's going to just float one up, a 50-50 ball, and the wrong 50 came down with it. On the return, Southern Boone trying to make something out of the pick. Spin move and drag down at the 15-yard line. There is multiple flags out.
I think that it's still going to stand. Is definitely holding on Eldon based on where it's at.
So the pick is going to be good. Southern Boone will take over possession on the 15.
They're going to try him back out there at quarterback, but probably run the ball again and not really have to use him too much.
Well, and for Eldon, that's tough because, I mean, you're trying to make a play. Evan is with his arm and with his feet as well. But, boy, you just kind of toss that ball up, and that ball is up for grabs for anyone. And it was Southern Boone on defense that was able to make the reception and get the interception.
This is no disrespect to Eldon at all. It's just the way they want to play football. They're not designed to play when they're down in the game, right? They're not designed to play from behind in multiple scores. Like, that's why you're seeing them turn the ball over, is because they're trying to force things because they're down by a lot more. They're designed to stay on schedule and stay in a competitive, close game. So you get down and you start forcing plays, and it makes it tough.
Is that legal? Can you fake a motion? And it's a fumble picked up off the ground. Back going to go with it. And he's going to score off a fumble that bounced off the ground. The quarterback pitched it back to the back. It bounced right up into the back's hands, and he took off with it. Touchdown Eagles.
Well, that play just describes the second half. Everything has gone Southern Boone's way here in the second half, especially the way the ball bounced after it was fumbled.
Yeah, in the first half, it was funny because we were saying the exact opposite thing. It felt like the ball was bouncing towards Eldon every single time. But it's usually like that, right? It eventually switches, and Southern Boone has taken advantage of it a little bit more than Eldon did tonight.
Extra point attempt for the Eagles, once again up and good. This kid, seriously, he should be kicking somewhere on Saturday, someday.
The clock ran the entire time that happened. I don't know if anyone noticed that.
No.
I don't think anyone, I mean, at this point.
So Southern Boone extends their lead 39-15. Eldon will get the ball back when we come back. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
This is Como Connect Internet Court. All rise for the Honorable Judge Chip Thunder.
Be seated. I can see from my notes here, Mr. Plaintiff, that you have slow internet.
Yes,
Guilty!
But I didn't plead my case.
It don't matter. No excuse for slow internet. Como Connect has ultra-fast internet at comoconnect.com. Bailiff Snuggles, get this man out of my courtroom.
Your bailiff is a T-Rex? Why?
Because I'm Judge Chip Thunder, baby!
Take your softball and baseball skills to the next level. The Shed is Eldon's own indoor hitting facility that features 2 full cages with screens, tees, and pitching lanes. You'll love their top-of-the-line pitching machine that throws a variety of speeds with precise locations to perfect your swing. The Shed also has a workout facility. You can add it to your cage rental or just purchase as a regular membership. Open Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 8, and Saturday and Sunday from noon to 8. Look for the big white building across from Gerb's in Eldon. Book times now on Facebook at The Shed LLC. See you at The Shed.
Ryan and I are getting ready to form the greatest coaching tandem that anyone's ever seen. He's got the OC, I got the DC, and
Blitz, Bama Blitz.
Dude, I don't know if we're going to win, but we're going to be fun to watch. And the kick return is fumbled, finally picked up at the 10, trying to get outside, stumbling at the 15, taking quite a lick as he goes out of bounds. That play kind of summarizes Eldon's second half.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit while you were gone. Frustration's just kind of boiling over for Eldon, right? It's not something that has just been this week, right? It's kind of a 2 or 3 week cultivation of, starting out 3-0, dealing with struggle. How do you bounce back from that? And next week, this week of practice and next week, it's going to be very important for the Mustangs.
It is, because I need to look at Eldon's schedule, but it may be this next week or the week after that they have to take a trip right up the road to Blair Oaks. And let's see here. Eldon. Wait, what? No, this is the district standings.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, Eldon plays Eldon next week? How do they do that?
Here we go. Yeah, I have them. It's just...
All right. So,
honestly, I just grabbed a piece of paper and gave it to you.
You just showed me winning percentage, Matt.
I was testing you.
All
right, I give up.
I have to play somebody
Hold on,
next
I got
week.
it.
I am positive of this.
Talking about they have the Misha bye week. They added that this year. I don't know what you're talking about. I've got it right here. Hold on. Come on, load.
This is now a foot race.
Blair Oaks.
Oh, I thought
they're at home as well.
Never mind. Yeah, that's. I'm just being honest. Like and I know anybody listening from Eldon is not going to be mad at me saying that it's Blair Oaks. We know what they are. They have a whole arsenal of kids that'll be playing college ball for someone somewhere. I mean, so Eldon, it's not going to get easier. But also, these are the teams in your district too, right? Trips left for the Mustangs. Evan back to throw. Going to go on the right side. Throws it upfield. And it's picked off by the Eagles. Cross the 20, to the 10, to the 5. And a flag comes out. It is a pick 6, but it's coming back. Going to be a hold on the return.
4th interception thrown by Eldon here in the second half. It's almost like we saw 2 different teams in the first half and in the second half. And it just makes you, what happened? I mean, Eldon up by 5 points. And we knew this was going to be I thought it was going to be a low-scoring game. And, first half, that's exactly what it was. 15-10, Eldon with a 5-point lead. And thought, boy, it's going to be all about defense and points are going to matter and be at a premium here in the second half. And, well, not the case. And tough because, boy, Eldon played a solid first half of football.
No, they did. And the biggest thing for me that changed, as weird as this is going to sound, was the energy. Eldon in the first half, you'd have thought they were coming off a state title and they just smacked around a Class 6 team. They looked confident. There was I know people are going to hate to use this word, there was a swagger to them, if you will. There was no swaggers to start the second half. And I really think it all comes down to, for me, that drive Southern Boone put together at the end of the half. I think that was a little bit of a take the wind out of the sails and started slowing down the Eldon momentum. And
Eldon was yards away from scoring a touchdown to end the first half.
Yeah.
And it was defense by the Eagles to prevent that. And, boy, it just seemed like after that, they couldn't get anything to go on offense.
For Southern Boone, though, like this could be a game where it's like the floodgates kind of open up, as I think they've got some of their backups in on a run to the left side. This could be a game that opens up the floodgates, right, for their offense, because it's been defense all year, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we played a pretty good defense and figured some things out offensively tonight.
Yeah, you're not wrong, by the way. The backup's in, which I'm sure is a relief for Mason Shear as he can kind of ice some of the bruises and get healthy next week before they move on in their Tri-County schedule. So at quarterback right now for Southern Boone, is that Denton Eddy?
Eddie, yeah,
Eddie?
a freshman.
All right. I was thinking Zach Eady at first, but they're not quite the same height. Well, Eddie, he's shaking and baking and moving like a running back before he spun down to the 20. I mean, that's going to be enough to move the sticks. Wrong team, but I want to get the plug in anyways. Mark Metal first down. Just happens to be for Southern Boone.
I think that next week will be interesting for Southern Boone going to Hallsville. There could be 100 passes thrown in that game, and the clock might stop a million times. That could be a very long one with how much these teams pass.
Every team has their rivalry game, and for Southern Boone, Hallsville in Boone County, that is that rivalry game for the Eagles.
That game may finish with each quarterback throwing 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Yeah, it really could.
So Southern Boone just trying to decide the final score on this one. They see the receiver in motion. Quarterback going to run that little option. He decides to keep it, sees a hole, takes it in the middle, takes on tackler, stretches forward out to about the 16-yard line. Next week, we will be in the big town of Windsor as they play host to the Versailles Tigers. Windsor, I'm very familiar with Windsor as they are a K-Singer school.
The K-Singer.
The conference I grew up in.
You ran the K-Singer there for a while.
No.
Windsor, are they the Greyhounds?
They are the Greyhounds. Almost as cool as the Spoof Hounds out of Maryville. But the Windsor Greyhound football program, very good, as they had put a state title on the board not long ago. They're a perennial Final Four team. I think they may have been down a little bit this year, as I know, like I said, they lost to Tipton, who is a bigger school now. As that run, going to go to the right side, going to be a pickup of about 5. But for Versailles, it's very simple. Can you get healthy? Who's going to be able to play? Because you've been missing Gage Judd, who's probably your best tackler on defense. I think Fletcher Bice has been dealing with other injuries. He's actually shifted back to that quarterback role. Matt, you'll love this. Versailles has been running a system lately where their quarterback is the guy who used to be quarterback but couldn't play quarterback because he had Tommy John surgery. And they said, well, you can't throw the ball, so we should put you back at quarterback. And he's thrown multiple touchdowns this season. Quarterback keeper going to get his legs cut out, and he'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 4th and 4 for Southern Boone.
Of course, mentioning Versailles, they're in the same district as Eldon and Southern Boone as well. You have Booneville. You have, of course, Blair Oaks tops the list in that district. And boy, that is a loaded and going to be a tough district too.
I don't have a way of proving this, but I have to believe in Class 3 football, that may be the toughest district in the state. As far as average, your top end of that is loaded.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, you have Nam Nasser, who's 4-1, Booneville 4-1 heading into tonight's games. You have 3 teams at 4-1, and then you have Southern Boone and Eldon.
Goodness.
Did he? Oh, he missed.
He missed it, but that was good from 50. They had the distance for 50 because that was from 30.
That's great. So was he on the 30?
Yeah.
No, he was on the 20.
No, he was on the 20, so he kicked it for
35. Wouldn't it be 35?
Not if it's 10 yards from where he's standing.
I always thought it was 15 for the end zone to the field goal post. Maybe that's NFL. Either way, he could have hit it for.
Radio guys trying to do math does not work very well.
It's somewhere out there,
All right, you heard it here. 68-yard field goal, no good.
I was going to say, I think he hit it from 72, maybe.
We have to talk about the fact that kickers have gotten really, really good in the world.
Hey, Young Ho Koo had a really good game last night.
He did.
He actually missed a few, too, but...
Eldon going to try to run it up the right side, and a short gain going to be had. Only about a 1-yard pickup. And that's the subs for Eldon in the game as well. In at quarterback, I believe, for the Mustangs, that looks like Drew Hines, the sophomore, 5'8", 135. But it's incredible. You've got kickers in NFL games teeing up 60-yarders like it's normal.
Well, and speaking of kickers, you have Smith Cotton alumni for the Saints kicker, Blake Groupie, kicking for the Saints against the Chiefs in Monday Night Football. How cool is that?
With all respect to Groupie, I hope he doesn't get a single extra point attempt. I really do.
That's true.
Eldon trying to go to the outside. Not much to be had there. They'll pick up about a solid gain of 3 on the run. That'll make it 3rd and short, 3rd and about 4.
One thing I was mentioning, just how solid the Class 3 District 4 is, where you have 6. You have trying to do math. You have multiple teams that are over 500. 3 teams at 4-1, and then our 2 teams here tonight at 3-2 before tonight's matchup. And so, just a solid matchup in that district.
Oh, it really is. Anytime, like I said, when you're district and it's going to be a little play action rolling out. Passes caught in the flat, the 40 to midfield. Still running at the 50, down to the 40 of Southern Boone. A Martin Meadow first down and a big gain for the Mustangs. Nice play on the rollout. A great throw delivered by Drew Hines. I couldn't tell who had the reception. I need to put some LEDs on these Mustang uniforms.
Seriously.
Well, it's, something positive on offense for Eldon. It's what you want to see here in the second half.
It's just a cool moment, too, for your guys that don't necessarily get to play all the time.
Hines going to throw on the run. However, Southern Boone with another pick, and Hines makes the tackle at the 45 of Southern Boone. So I would say the Eagles likely going to come out here and take a knee in a little victory formation as they're going to get a big homecoming win. I tell people anytime it's brought up, I would make the argument the Tri-County Conference is and has been one of the best conferences, most competitive in mid-Missouri for a long time. And it's kind of shown here tonight with two Tri-County foes.
Well, the conference has a lot of rich history. I mean, for decades and decades and just top-tier competition when it comes, especially in football.
And it is going to be the victory formation. The knee is taken, and the flag comes out.
You never want to see that.
Was it completely necessary? I'm going to be honest. Really bad. I would be a terrible official because at this point in the game, you would have to say something that would really bother me.
Yeah, it had to have been really bad. It's a personal foul.
It's going to go against Eldon.
Well, as a coach, that's not how you want to finish a game.
You might as well just pull your guys off.
And instead, I'm not going to point out who it was, but I will tell you the player that got in trouble immediately got that point from coach of get to the sideline.
Yeah, if you're Southern Boone, just get your guys off the field here. The clock's going to run at the there you go. That's the ball game.
Yeah, and that's going to be all she wrote as Southern Boone gets a big win over Eldon, 39-15, and they improve their record to 4-2 as the Mustangs will fall to 3-3 on the season. I think the game's done, right?
It is.
Well, some confusion.
I think they were just waiting to make sure.
Okay, that will put a wrap on it. 39-15, the final. Southern Boone defeats Eldon. Post-game show coming up. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Divine and the Land Pro team will provide you with excellent service and more than 25 years of combined knowledge of the local real estate market. Looking to buy or sell land or farms in Miller, Morgan, or Camden County? Call Chuck Yo, the Land Pro, at 573-280-4452. Victoria Divine makes finding your next home enjoyable, utilizing the latest technology to bring buyers and sellers together. Buying a home is a big decision. Trust Victoria Divine to handle all the details for you. Divine and Associates, powered by eXp Realty, located across from Wood Supermarket in Eldon.
Heart attacks don't follow a 9-to-5 schedule. And neither do we. At Lake Regional, a full heart attack response team is on call day and night. It's a demanding job. But then again, we never mind being woken up by our neighbors. Lake Regional Health System. Our commitment runs deep.
H&R Block of Versailles is a family-owned and operated block advisor's office celebrating 10 years of business serving Versailles and the surrounding areas. Pamela Johnson, an enrolled agent, and her certified team are here to prepare your taxes, handle your bookkeeping and payroll, plus audits, tax notices with the IRS and the state, and problem solving and issue resolution. For more information, call the H&R Block office on Monroe Street in Versailles at 573-378-5843. 573-378-5843.
Since 1991, Capital Monuments and the Atterbury family has served and supported the mid-Missouri area. They've been offering generations of memorial experience by designing and creating the highest quality monuments. At Capital Monuments, they specialize in creating personalized and lasting tributes, from pre-need and at-need family memorials to military and community tributes. Come in and talk with one of their monument design specialists. They're located west of Jefferson City in Apache Flats, or visit capitalmonuments.com for photo samples. Capital Monuments, the tribute that lasts forever.
Back with the Bank of Versailles. Oh, I did not update that scoreboard. I should have thought that one through.
That's on me.
That's I didn't say anything. We'll just make that one disappear for a second. The Bank of Versailles. Why did it not disappear?
You know what? Matter of fact, why don't I just Go on there.
You know what? No, it's gone. Wait, no, it's not gone.
You just deleted Bank of Versailles.
Oh, no. I am really messing this up so terribly. Oh, my goodness. I am so sorry to the Bank of Versailles.
Say it like
All
6
right,
times.
there we go. And the Bank of Versailles post-game show.
There you go.
Oh,
Technology's hard, man.
Oh,
I will say you are the play-by-play guy trying to do video and a computer.
It's a
So
lot,
yeah, give yourself some credit. So it's okay.
All right, tough game here for the Eldon Mustangs. Matt, let's start with you. Tale of two halves for Eldon.
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially early on in the first half, we saw Eldon have success on offense. We saw them make some plays on defense, stopping the Eagles' offense. But then Southern Boone were able to make some adjustments, some tweaks on, especially on defense, and some adjustments. But at half, Eldon led by 15-10. I thought it was just going to be a low-scoring game. We saw that in the first half. But, Southern Boone continued to be able to make adjustments. And for whatever reason, Eldon struggled on offense and on defense in the second half. And it just seemed like it was two different teams we saw from the Mustangs on both sides of the ball when comparing the first half to the second half.
Yeah, I think the biggest factor to me is turnovers have not been something that we've seen out of Eldon. They're a ball control team, right? They rely on winning the field position battle. They're a smash mouth team, even though they want to do it on the outsides rather than the insides. They're a smash mouth team. They want to run the football and chew up some clock. They don't do a good job when they're behind the sticks. They don't do a good job when they're behind in the game, and that's not a knock. That's the style of football that they want to play. They want to win games almost sloppily, right? They want to win games where you kind of want to look away. And so when you start to get behind in the game, you start to put yourself in bad positions. I think Coach said it before the game, right? He said we can't put ourselves in bad positions. And that's every football coach is going to say that from the dawn of time until the end of time. But it's the truth. Anytime you get behind the sticks, you're in third and longs, second and longs, and you have to start forcing the ball into people's, into positions you don't want to, then it makes it tough. And I think that was the story in the second half is Southern Boone put Eldon in positions they didn't want to be in, and that's why they won the football game.
I completely agree. While we're going through all this, we do each week give out the First Choice Realty Team Friday Night Lights MVP, and we talked about it during the break. This week, we're going to give it to number 29, Colin Brisbane. Colin has had a multifaceted role in this team all throughout the season. I felt like tonight he was, for a large part of the game, the focal point of the offense. He was the leading receiver throughout the game. His routes were crisp. He made some big catches, especially early in the game, and I thought it was a very good night for Colin.
He's called upon to do a few different things with, the injuries they've taken. He kind of took Andrew Beanland's role of being able to spread out and go at slot receiver, being able to come into the backfield and run the football. We saw him from the bulk of the game in at slot receiver, and he did a really good job, honestly. He was more of like a 10-and-in guy. He wasn't going to run down the field. Had a lot of catches on some out routes on the sidelines, saw him over the middle of the field. Anytime you can get a running back the football in the passing game, it makes him a dynamic guy, and I thought he did a really good job tonight. That's why I definitely would have liked to highlight him. So,
no, I couldn't agree more. And before we start wrapping this up, Matt, I know you've been working hard to get some area scores and whatnot. Do you have much to recap for us?
Yeah, we have some finals to pass along. In Versailles, it was Clinton over Versailles, 20-6. It was all Tipton tonight over Fayette, 48-0. Wow. Booneville beat California, 21-7. It was Blair Oaks in Kansas tonight, winning over Blue Valley Southwest, 59-28. And a close game for the Camdenton Lakers. They're in Columbia tonight, battling Rockbridge with just under 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It is tied 21-21, Lakers against Rockbridge. Of course, you can listen to that game on Mix 92.7 or watch online at MoSportsZone.com. And also, with about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, it was all Osage over Hallsville, 49-16.
A lot of big games around the area and some surprising lopsided results in a few of those. Well, next week we are on the road to Windsor. Be back with the Tigers. Tigers looking to get things back on track as they will do battle with the Greyhounds. Coming up tomorrow, Mizzou on the radio. Pregame 9 o'clock, kickoff at 11 as they are at College Station with the Aggies. Yes, the last time Mizzou played the Aggies Well, do they play? Never mind. I was about to really mess that up. The last time I cared about Mizzou playing the Aggies had Johnny Manziel. And, apparently they're relevant again. So the Tigers looking to stay undefeated in their quest to run down Bama, Georgia, and the other big dogs and prove that the SEC can run through Columbia. And Sunday, if you're looking for the Chiefs game, it's not going to be there. They're on Monday Night Football this week, back at home, playing the New Orleans Saints before they get to their bye week. Am I missing anything, fellas?
Hey, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. It was a lot of fun. After 10 years, able to call some high school football on KS95. I have a good feeling that between Southern Boone and Eldon, they're going to match up against somewhere in district action. And, tough loss tonight for Eldon, especially with the way they played in the first half. Second half was just not very friendly to them, to say the least. But, still a lot of season left. It's all about, making improvements, making adjustments, getting better, and getting ready to see what happens in district action.
I couldn't agree more. Of course, Matt, always got a headset with your name on it anytime you want to jump in and join us. Ryan, it's always a pleasure having you on the broadcast as well. Brother, do you have any final thoughts on tonight's game?
Another tough one for Eldon. You went from 3-0 to 3-3, and now it's really time to see what kind of kids you got, right? You got to bounce back, got a tough one next week. I mean, Blair Oaks, let's put it out as they just beat a 6A school out in Kansas that was 4-2 going into the week. Like it's going to be tough next week, but I think if you go at it with, hey, we have a chance to get better next week and get healthy going into our last 2 weeks of the season, maybe make a final push to move up in the district standings, right? That's all you can do, right? Just trying to get better every week. And I think that in the first half we saw that Eldon did. Second half crumbled a little bit. So just trying to put together a full 4 quarters of football next week.
I couldn't agree more. Well, it's been a lot of fun tonight, but the Mustangs do come up short in this one, falling to Southern Boone. Special thanks to Justin back at the studio and Britt on the camera. He's Matt. He's Ryan. I'm Colton.